now watching I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel.
I shot him 6 times!
What is going on, horror fanatics? I hope everyone is having a great night tonight. Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. If you have not done so already, please shoot this stream a like. It definitely helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. And if you happen to be a new viewer coming across this stream, do yourself a service. Hit that subscribe button as well as that notification icon and get notified and join this amazing community where we talk about horror movies from Scream, everything, basically. I'm trying to get a lot more horror content out there other than Scream, but obviously Scream is a big talking point. And speaking of Scream, that's what this live stream is all about tonight. Scream franchise Omnibus, films 1 through 3, doing a complete deep dive into the first 3 films of the franchise. And I have invited a few great guests. One of them is actually backstage right now. I don't know if any of the others are going to be able to make it. They said they might be able to, but the guest that I do have sitting backstage, you all are very familiar with him. Guys, he is the godfather of Woodsboro. I am so happy to have him here tonight. It's been a while since we really got to bust it up and talk some Scream due to some circumstances, but he is here tonight to bust it up, talk some Scream 1 through 3 as long as he can. So without wasting any more time, my good friend Steven, but you guys know him as Craven Something Scary, the godfather of Woodsboro. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. Good to be here. Thanks for the invitation, bro.
Of course, man.
And again, congrats on 1,000 subscribers. And I'm very excited for the celebration that will come at some point. I'm very, very excited, buddy.
That's right.
Well deserved, Marcus. You've earned it, brother. You grinded. You did it. You're doing it. And you're putting in the work, and it paid off. And I knew it would.
Yes,
I knew it would, man. And I had confidence in you from day one, and I'm so proud of what you've accomplished, man. And to see your journey and going and just going to continue going, man, I just nothing. It warms my heart to see you take control. We'd be confident and just go, and get it out there. And a lot of people don't have what you have. And a lot of people wouldn't have the fire to continue grinding and doing the work that you've done. And I've always say this, man, this is when people start, some people think, oh, I'll be a YouTuber. I'll no. This is work, and you have to earn it. You have to put it in, and to see where you started from, those first videos where you were out there in the deep end, but you were going, man. You were flinging your arms. You're getting the water. You're just, you're singing with your thoughts. And to see you grow and to see your presentation get stronger, your confidence grow as every video comes out. And now at the point where you have a control over what you're doing, you have a method, an approach, and more than all, you've come out of the shell and you are on fire, man. And nothing makes me more proud than to see you and what you've done, my friend. And you absolutely deserve it. You've earned it. You've worked for it. And my friend, you just keep going. You don't stop, because the sky's the limit for you, man. And it's going to continue, brother. And I'm going to be there with you.
I'm cracking over here. I can't even help it.
You've earned that. You've earned those tears, man. That shows the commitment you have. That right there, your reaction shows how much this means to you, man. How dedicated you are to your channel and your content. And it's real. It's a real thing. And you know what? Success doesn't come to those unless they are real, unless they are in it.
Yep.
Blood, sweat, tears, hours of lack of sleep, all that stuff, man. Up in the middle of the night making content so you can get it out. I know.
4 in the morning.
Yes. Bro, that's the life, man.
6 in the morning, and you got Denisha in the chat saying, Marcus, you need to go to sleep.
That's so true, man.
Oh,
That's what it takes, man. That's what I know, and you've done it. And you know what? You've been consistent. A lot of people I see, not in our community, but just in general,
yeah,
I've seen a lot of people. They had that momentum on day one, and they're ready to go. And by day 10, by 20,
yeah,
it's gone. That fire is
right.
burnt out. They're gone because they realize this is work. It's
Yes,
effort.
it really is. It is hard work for sure, man. And you hit the hammer on the head right there. Like, because and I said this actually the other day. Like a lot of people who don't do content creating, and stuff, think it
Yeah.
might just be us sitting on our butts behind the camera, and it's like, no,
No.
especially for what we do, breaking down films and stuff like that. Like, you
Mhm.
really have to commit yourself to
Yes.
that grind. Losing hours of sleep, we rewatching the same film, the same scene over and over and over again, trying to
Yes.
find clues and Easter eggs and stuff. Like, it is a process. But like you said, man, like when you are dedicated to it and you
Mhm.
love what you do, you
Yep.
will run through a brick wall to get to where you got to go. You know what I mean? And stuff that is
Yes.
so true. Now, man,
Yes.
I said it when I hit the 1,000 subs, and me and Eric and Bob were on here a few days ago, and everybody in the chats and all that knows it and stuff, buddy. This honestly would not be possible without you. You
Oh,
are
man.
the motivation. You gave me that motivation. You showed me that there's a platform here for people like us who love to talk horror
Mhm.
movies, who love to break down the film, who love to just have conversations like this. You know what I mean? Like, you showed
Yes.
me the way, man. And like, it's like
Mm.
and everybody knows it. We ain't doing those celebrations until you get 100%, and it's what I mean. We could be
Oh.
a part of that. You know what I mean? Because you are the driving force that got me to get out of the chat box and be like, you know
Mhm.
what, slowly but surely, watch, learn, take pieces. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Watch how they do things.
That's right.
You then getting introduced to Jake, Knight, and
Mhm.
everybody else, and just taking little pieces how you guys put your videos together, the production, if you will, behind it,
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I would watch you guys' videos, and I'm like, man, I really want to get it to where it's kind of like where they got it. I wanted to learn transitions, circle swipes, and all this stuff, all these
Uh-huh.
features. Yeah.
Absolutely,
you
man.
know, and stuff. And just over time, and just, by committing myself to it, I've gotten better. And
Yes, you have.
it just, if everybody's wondering why, I broke down and start cracking and crying, is because Steven's words meant so much. Because, there has been nights where I didn't get sleep and I had to go to work the next day, work my regular job and
Mhm.
stuff. So, and just you guys even subscribing and showing up for these chats and stuff like that. I got 50
Yeah.
comments in the comment section I gotta catch up to right now and stuff like that. But you guys, like, showing your support, subscribing and stuff like that to the channel, and leaving your thoughts and your opinions. And if even if we don't agree on everything, just the love and support that I get from you all, just
Mhm.
I absorb all that, and it makes me want to keep going. Even on my worst day, I just, if I'm having a bad day, it's just like, what? Read some articles, do some content. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
stuff like that. And just,
Yes, sir.
man, like, buddy, thank you so much for that, because it means so much. I'm going to quote the great former Dallas Cowboys head coach Jimmy Johnson. When you put the work in, and people acknowledge it,
Yeah.
it means so much more on a different level. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And stuff like, it
Yes.
means so much. And thank you again, buddy. It,
You man,
it means so much.
it's you're more than welcome, my friend, because it's the truth and it's how I feel. And I mean, just like, I mean, it's like seeing everyone who's having such success on their channels and that are in our community, and it just warms my heart, and I'm so proud of everyone who's putting in the work and doing it, man. And
Right.
um, wow, and that's such a milestone. And like I say, I watched your channel when you started. I was there
Yes.
before you had a channel. We were
Right.
chatting.
You were the first one who
Yeah.
told everybody in your channel to come check
Yes.
me out.
That's right.
And
Yes.
I didn't expect that at all. Like I always tell that story. I'm like, I never expected that when I was, in the chats, and then I heard you say that. I'm just like, you
Yeah.
just gave me a shout. Oh my God, me?
Absolutely.
So
Yes,
like,
sir.
but this past year and some change, I want to say like close to a year and a half now. I mean,
Yeah.
getting to know you, Steven,
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and just doing content, live streams like this and all that stuff. But just not only that, having conversations with you outside, behind the scenes, and
That's
stuff
right.
like that, buddy.
Yes,
It's a
sir.
real pleasure to call you
Oh,
family, man.
you
Honestly,
too. I feel the same. I seriously do, man. And it's this is what I'm talking about. I've talked a lot about legacy. Legacy. What legacy are we going to leave here
right?
when we're gone? Because one day, we don't know when, one day God says that's it. It's time and it's over. And what you leave behind is so important. And the thought of legacy, man, to know that you can impact others, that you can in some way reach and touch others in a way that causes positive change and causes growth and something really good is legacy. That's the legacy, man, that will carry on.
So true.
It will carry on for and everyone has the opportunity to do that. So now, you have the opportunity to do the same thing I did
It's true.
and encourage other people
That's right.
and get them motivated to start their channels. This thing just goes bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
But to know that origin point back to zero
Yeah.
was, what I'm saying, like back to this, start
Yep.
is where the pebble dropped on my channel and then and everything else is a ripple. That's
Yeah.
awesome. It just, it warms, it means the world to me. And it's what I wanted, Marcus, from day one. And you know how, you've heard me say it before.
Yep.
People matter,
Yep.
right? People are the most important thing, more than movies and opinions.
Right.
People are always number one. And I wanted a community of people that we come together and we love and support each other.
Right.
We encourage one another. And as a content creator, I said, unfortunately, there's some content creators out there that don't want to encourage and help people because they view them as competition.
That's so true.
And it's out. I mean, that's a thing out there.
That
And
is.
I said, you know what? I want to be the complete opposite. I want to encourage everyone to be a content creator that has it in them, that has that
Right.
desire, because you know what? We're all a community together,
So true.
and I'm so thrilled that we've accomplished community on my channel and it's grown your channel. We're all family, and it all has that origin point. So, down the road, man, when you're at 50,000 subs, down the road, 100,000 down the road, you'll still have the legacy still there, that it all
Right.
started at that origin point. And whether I'm here on this earth again or not, I have a feeling that my craving something scary will still be in the ethos with you guys,
Yes.
because that
Absolutely.
legacy is there. So I'm thrilled, man. And we do life together.
That's right.
You know what I say, man. I'm not trying to take over your stream here, but
Oh
I
no,
guess I
buddy.
am.
Hey,
But
listen, you're good, man. Hey, the floor is yours, my friend. It's nothing but
well,
positivity.
oh yeah,
Honestly. You know what I mean?
yes,
And everybody knows it because I've said it countless times before. Like, if it wasn't for me watching your videos and you giving me the confidence and you believing in me that I could do this, you know what I mean? And stuff. You know what I mean? This channel probably would not be where it's at, and it probably wouldn't even be created, in all honesty, because
yeah,
I didn't think there was a platform for people like us on YouTube or anything like that. I really didn't. I was
yeah, man.
clueless to that. You know what I mean? Especially because YouTube is such dominated by sports and stuff like that, and like comedies and parodies. I didn't think that there was a legit platform for us horror lovers on here. And when I seen that first Stu Mocker video, one of the first Stu Mocker videos that you did and
Nice.
stuff, especially because that's a theory of mine that I've always had for a long time and stuff. So when I
Yeah.
clicked on that, and just like I said, the presentation, but the detail, that's what really hooked me in, was the detail to the facts, you know what I mean? Or the clues and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I was just like, man, like there's really a platform for us, like horror people up here. Like, you know what? Let me subscribe and keep watching. You know what I mean? And the more, but I'm gonna tell everybody this too. The reason why I stuck around and kept watching Steven's content as well is because of the man you guys just heard these last 15 minutes. You know what I mean? It wasn't just about the content, it's about the person. You know what I mean? I could genuinely see he was a good person, a great person, a good soul. You know what I mean? And especially in, you know, like platforms like YouTube or just social media in general, you don't always get that with people. Some people can be really rude and snidey and stuff like that. And, you know, and just seeing how Steven operated, it just, you know what I mean? I was just like, yeah, I really, really like his channel. I like what he's about as a person. And, you know, it just took off from there.
Yes, it did. And you're, boy, taking off, man. You're in the space shuttle. You're not on a jet. You're going, you're towing on up,
Elroy
man.
jetsoning it.
Well, again, congratulations, man. And believe me, when we'll talk offline when we can get things figured out. That's going to be an amazing stream with you and Eric, and our friend Carrie. Just a shout out.
Yes,
Carrie
Carrie's got to be a part of this too, because Carrie, Val, I would love to be a part of it too, and stuff, because they showed so much love, you know, with everybody, sharing everybody's content and stuff like that. You know, just doing all that stuff. You know what I mean? Showing the love and the support, the work they put in to the community. You got to have them around too.
Absolutely. And Carrie, she's quickly approaching 1K herself.
No, I see it.
I'm telling you, man, it's amazing. And I remember talking to Carrie and saying, you got to start a channel. Yep. You know, you've got this website reviews that are great. And anyway, I won't go all into that, but so exciting to see all of you guys. And then of course, you know, Katie, of course, she's at 500 subs now, and Ghostface Fanatic is putting out videos. He started a channel. It's just a really cool thing, man. But again, I can't tell you how proud I am of you, Marcus.
Thank you. I really mean that. Buddy. Thank you again. Honestly, your kind words mean the world. Honestly, you know what I mean? Because it just a lot of people don't understand. You know, you know, us as content creators, you know, we have support of maybe our families and stuff like that, but we really got to start to support from the ground up.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So when you have, you know, people like Steven, friends like Steven, who believe in you and are willing to put the plug in and say, hey guys, go check him out. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, it's just truly amazing. You know what I mean? It really is.
Oh, my pleasure, brother.
Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, I'm gonna catch up with some of you guys' comments and all that stuff. I know I'm well behind, so I'm going to try to catch up as best as I can, but I do want to get some of you guys' comments and say what's up to you guys, because you guys have been hanging tough. Okay, this is from earlier. Yeah, I seen. Yeah, Blucka and Val were having a conversation. But cool speaking of Val and Blucka, Spicy General is in the chat and moderating. What's going on, Val? Thank you so much for being here. And Val, as I just said, if obviously when we get it put together, if you are able to join us for the celebration, you definitely have to be a part of that live stream. Sean Arthur's in the chat. What's going on, Sean? Glad to see you here tonight. Thank you for stopping in. Said, let's get into this love stream. Love your content. Thank you so much, man. Right. I love Stream too. I mean, everybody knows Halloween is my #1 franchise, but I will say this: when it comes to like really like doing content and breaking down content, Scream is more interesting because there's so many other layers to it, because it's a
Yeah.
whodunit. With Halloween, it's it's pretty cut and dry. You know what I mean? Michael Myers, this, that. With Scream, it's like, okay, what do we got here? Who's going to be the killer this time? What Stu Macher Easter eggs are they leaving us this time? You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
There's just so many layers to it. You know what I mean? And stuff. So, I mean, I love my Halloween, but when it comes to doing content, I will be honest, a little bit more. I do like doing Scream because there's just so many other layers.
Yes. Yep.
Katie, what's going on? Popping the popcorn. What's going on, Katie?
Hey, Katie.
I sent the group chat out for tomorrow's live stream, part 2 of the Omnibus. If you can make it, just let me know in the messages. But definitely glad to see you, Katie. It's been a little bit since we got to hang out on a live stream. That's why I was like, you know what? Let me see what Katie's doing tomorrow night.
Yeah. Awesome.
Scott Walker in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Okay, so Scott says, I read an article recently, Nev Campbell's return to play Sidney Prescott if Matthew Lillard returns to play Stu Macher. Ooh. Well, before we really get into the omnibus and all that stuff of the first 3 films, Steven, what do you think about that? Do you think Nev is basically saying she won't return unless Matthew does? Like, what do you think?
I need to read that article
Right.
to get more context around that. Scott, if you have a link, could you send that to us? Either in here in the chat.
Yeah, Scott, if you have a link to that, send it in the chat.
Yeah, I'd love to see the article itself. Interesting. It's hard to imagine her saying that publicly, because if they're going to bring Matthew Lillard back, they wouldn't want to air it out like that. Of course, I know this is Neff talking, not the studio, but
right.
I don't. I mean, if it's truly that, like, if that's truly the case, I would be shocked, only because I think we would hear about that all over the place. That would be pretty.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe the article was not. I want to see like the source, because some of these articles that people are in their basement are writing them and putting them online. It's an article, so I'm skeptical on articles, all articles, depending on the source and context. So that's kind of where I would kind of need to read that, understand it better to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, for me, I can't see her like up and coming out and saying that, because I look at it from the context is she does want to come back, and obviously it was planned for her to come back in 6, but obviously we know what happened there. Bringing Matthew Lillard in, that would basically give away what they're trying to do.
Yep.
That's why I can't see that article myself kind of being legit, but I still would like to read it, much like Steven, just to, get, like you said, get some context, because maybe something that she said, they were implying that, you know what I mean, or whatnot. Yeah. But I still can't even see her implying something like that. Like, that just would be too much of a giveaway.
Right. Exactly. That.
Right. Especially when I will give them their credit, even though us Stu Truthers, yes, I'm rolling with it, man. Truthers, even though us Stu Truthers, we see the clues that we clearly see are related to Stu Macher. What they have done, Radio Silence, what they have done well is kind of throw some wrinkles in it to where you can say, okay, maybe it was somebody else. Maybe. You know what I mean? But when you really break it down, the clues of Stu is clearly there, and it is overwhelming.
Yep. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we find out Stu killed Dewey and Stu attempted to kill Gail in the apartment. Because Marcus, did you notice? And I know I don't want to jump ahead for your
that's fine,
tomorrow.
buddy. In all honesty, because I'm going to be on for a while, so this omnibus it's going to happen. And we haven't talked in a while. We haven't got to talk about Scream 6.
Not at all.
So I definitely want to hear what you have to say about that, because trust me, buddy, I'm going to put it this way, and then I'll let you shoot. When I saw the phone number show up on Gail's phone,
you saw the area code?
I was like, yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I jumped up and I was just like, Steven, let's go. I was like, they showed us it. Let's go. It's him. It has to be him. Like,
I
I mean, but
know.
yeah, definitely, buddy. Shoot. What do you think
So,
about that scene?
well, that scene, there's two things that jump out to me. You just got the first one.
Yes.
It's the only time in the movie we get a Woodsboro area code
Mm-hmm.
on her phone. That's significant. It's not an accident that they made that on the screen, guy. You don't just randomly do that.
Yep.
So there is a Woodsboro number dialing Gail Weathers. And number two, when he has her down on the floor and there you go. He get both arms. That's Stu Macher's killing style from the first film. Both arms up in the air on the knife. Dude, come on. Now see, it, a casual fan just going to go over their heads. But if you're paying attention and you that's two clues right there that it could be Stu that was going on. And what if he's the only one, the only people he killed are the legacy people he didn't kill in the first one? Dewey, and he tried to get Gail.
Mm-hmm.
And a second time now he had to run. Or he didn't, wasn't successful. So, but I mean, come on, hands above the head.
Yep.
Woodsboro phone number. Oh, dude. Man, I'm telling you, the clues are there. They are right there. And
well, actually, I have a couple more clues.
Oh, good. Let's hear them.
Stuff. And I did a couple videos on them and stuff. And
okay.
The one clue actually, and I'm going to give her flowers. I don't know if she's not in the chat now, but she might come across the stream, later in the morning or something like that. But Sister Pam, she has her own YouTube channel. She pointed this out in a dialogue when Gail says dipshit. You know what I mean? The only time Gail ever refers to Ghostface as that word is in Scream 96 when she busts Billy and Stu.
That's right.
That's the only time.
I stumbled upon these. Yep. Boom. Yep.
Now, the one that I caught was the Christmas dialogue. Carved him up like a Christmas goose. Now, when I heard that, I'm just like, the only time we ever heard a Christmas reference or the word Christmas flat out be said in the Scream franchise is when Stu said it in the hallway. You know what I mean?
That's
and
right.
I was just the way Ghostface was talking to her, that was personal. That was somebody who knew her. Like
I agree.
We've never spoken on the phone before. Why would Quinn say that?
Nope. Exactly. She wouldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think she would.
Right.
No.
And there's 100%. Another thing, and I talked about like that to me debunks the whole Quinn did it, is that what a lot of people were forgetting about, her being able to throw Brooks through the bookcase. Mm-hmm. At that point, he was dead weight.
Yep.
He was already dead.
There's no way a 19-year-old
no way
Quinn could do that. No, I have no way.
No
That's
way.
True.
No way. Now, I also did a video, and this is the thing I said too about Dewey's death. Now, I'm not saying that it isn't Stu. What I'm saying is that if for some reason we don't get him back,
right,
then you can make a case that maybe it was Bailey who killed Dewey. And the only reason why I say that is because of the bulletproof vest and Richie's reaction. And I remember you said that about Richie's reaction about, when Ghostface got shot by Dewey.
Yes.
For me, I think it would make a lot more sense if that was his dad underneath the costume than Amber, because Amber was just a pawn in his game, and stuff like that. And I believe in Bailey to some degree, even if he didn't do anything in Scream 5 in terms of like murdering Dewey or something. I do think he was a lot more into it than he tried to imply at the end of Scream 6. When he says, did I overindulge in my son's, little, fantasy with these films? Yeah, sure, maybe. That tells me you like it yourself. So, but especially with what we got in Scream 6, I still do believe most chances, especially if he does come back, that was Stu who killed Dewey, because it just makes a little bit more sense, and stuff like that. Now, I know I said before about, the whole it's an honor thing. Maybe that was Charlie from my Charlie Walker theory. and stuff like that. But I think, and to some degree, they may have just did that to kind of throw it off. That, like I just said a couple minutes ago, doing little things to try to throw it off that it's not Stu. You know what I mean, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I will ask you this. Speaking of my boy Charlie Walker,
I know you're on the Charlie train, man.
bro. Let me ask you this: did you I don't know if you were able to catch my video about it, but did you see that guy who walked past Samantha and Tara in that scene?
Dude, I need to see it
Oh, I
because
got you. I got you.
Okay, yeah, I want to
Oh,
see
I got
it.
you. I'm glad I kept this on you. I knew I kept it on you for a reason. I mean, everybody. I have no, qualms with anybody who doesn't believe it's him.
Yeah.
It could be a lookalike,
Right.
but, and I'll explain to you why I believe this is definitely him. What do you think, my friend?
Interesting.
He says interesting. Bro.
Well,
bro.
I here's what I'll say, man. At the very least,
cameo.
Well, no, what I was going to say was, and then maybe that could be the case. At the very least, I was thinking they are mirroring. It's an homage to Charlie. Like they're like, okay, you know what? We're going to have this person look like this, deliberately,
right,
as an homage to Charlie. So we're like, oh wow, look at that. That's just how Charlie looked when he was in the chair. That at the very least, they're doing that. But is it more than that? Is the question.
I believe it is, and I wish I had this shot. I should have uploaded it or whatever before the stream. That same hooded figure is in the subway before they get on the subway train.
Standing or in the car?
On his phone.
Oh, okay.
He's on the side or whatever before they're coming down the stairs. When it shows the shot of everybody in the subway, everybody in the costumes, if you look to the far right, you can see the same person with the hoodie on their cell phone.
Okay. And where was that shot from you took there? In the car?
Actually, Ryan from 5-Star Tributes actually sent me that shot. And it's from the scene, like I said, it's from the scene where they're about to get on the subway before basically they get split up, before Mindy gets stabbed and all that. Right when they're about to before they get on and before you see the camera cut to the stairs, they're showing everybody, and then on the right hand side, you can see that same person with that hood that walked right past them in the subway scene.
So the image we just saw was of him walking past them.
When Samantha first gets the call, and she thought that guy walking towards them was Ghostface or whatever before the first attack, right before the bodega.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Now,
that on the sidewalk, right? When it was turned on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Now, why I found that interesting is because my thing was this: why black out his face if he wasn't meant to be important?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you only seen his face when he walks and looks at Samantha. Like he makes that eye contact with Samantha. That's the only time the light comes up to his face. But this is another reason why I believe it could be Charlie and he could be alive. It's kind of funny to me how that figure, that guy in the hood, was walking from the direction of the bodega. Shortly after that, we get the attack in the bodega, and the mask, we only see one mask on the ground.
Yeah.
I believe that's Charlie's mask. The direct scene afterwards, we get DeMont interviewing the girls. Who shows up next? Kirby. Now, why I believe Kirby was already in New York before, because she wouldn't have had enough time to get to New York hearing about Jason and Greg over the news. That's a 16-hour drive. From New York to Atlanta to New York. She had to have already been in New York before that happened. And that scene where her and Dermont are checking out the Ghostface board, she gets that phone call. She is the only phone we don't get to see no numbers, who's calling her, nothing. She looks at her phone, and then she says, tell your daughter to stay sharp, proximity to the Carpenter sisters is proximity to Ghostface. And she leaves. Who called her?
Good
You know,
question.
there's some things that I caught in there, especially in that scene where Charlie walks, you know, that then we get the whole bodega scene. Like, it's just too ironic to me. It's too close together.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you have to think they purposely put that phone call into Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it's not an accident. They wrote that, like,
Right.
you know, have her get a phone call, but then she doesn't answer it. Why would it even ring? Why was it ringing? Right? Like, I mean, it's a question. Like, what is that? What's happening there? You know, it's real interesting. I'll have to say, man. You know, well, here, let me put it this way, and I said this earlier on my stream earlier this afternoon. Is this 6? I love it. I like 6. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I like it better than 5. However, 6 forces us as viewers to suspend disbelief more often than any film in the franchise. There are so many points in this film that you just have to ignore it, accept it, because it's just you can't. It's you know, sometimes there's been a scene here or there in the other movies that you're like, okay, you know what? It's a movie, but Marcus, there's so many in this one.
I know.
And you know, I won't. We won't dissect 6. You're doing that tomorrow, but
yeah.
But there's so many. You just almost have to, like. It's a movie. You just like, you know, I'm going to check out that part of the brain, and I'm just going to watch it and accept it for what it is, and go with it, and then you can enjoy it more. But I will tell you, I said all that to say this: after what we've seen with Chad. Anything is possible. And
this whole movie.
I mean, I personally have never thought Charlie was alive, but I'm gonna tell you something. From what we've seen from this current group of creators, the writers, and why not? Why not? Because Chad's alive. He's been stabbed 17 times in 6, 7 and 5.
Yep.
So 17 plus 7, whatever that is, that's how many times this man has been. How many?
24 times.
24 stabs, and this man is still walking. He's still alive. He's still alive. I don't want to hear about Stu being dead.
Thank you.
I don't want to hear about. I mean, even Charlie being dead. He was stabbed twice.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, look. I mean, I support you in your passion. You know. You know, I think he died, but you know what? I'm not going to rain on your parade, man, because just like we think Stu's alive and people say they think he's dead, doesn't matter. You know, what we've seen, literally anyone can come back right now.
Right.
Well, not everyone. Roman and Billy are out, but you know, but you know what I'm saying, man. Like, you know, you could even make, and I'm not. I think she's dead. But you could make a case even that Jill could come back. I mean, I'm not, but I'm just saying, look at Chad.
Yep.
If you accept that he could live through this, I don't want to hear about Charlie being dead with 2 stab wounds. I'm sorry.
Right.
He had 2. Stu had 4. 4 stabs. That's it.
Yep.
And everyone gets hung up on the television. That TV would not shock him. The voltage is so low. Yep. It's in the back of the TV. You know the arguments, Marcus. You know, that it drives me nuts to no end when everybody just keeps harping on the television.
Right. Well, I'll tell you this. With Scream 6, and I did a video on it or whatever, the 3 characters that, to me, squashed the whole, Stu can't survive his injuries.
Yeah.
Was Quinn. Because and I said it, we talked about it, the fake out. Could have faked his death.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Kirby, she died, but they brought her back. The same could have been said for Stu. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then Chad's the biggest one. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
Yes.
He survived all those stab wounds. You know what I mean? And you mean to tell me that you think 4 stab wounds in a small little TV crashing on Stu's head is going to kill him?
No. And he had his hands up.
Right. In my opinion, I think they purposely did that to show us that there is a possibility they're going to bring him back.
Yes. Well, check this out, Marcus. Have you thought about this? You may have. So Quinn faked her death,
Mm-hmm.
and her favorite mask that she wore was Stu's mask.
Right.
Could it be an unspoken clue that she's wearing Stu's mask and she faked her death?
Wow. I didn't think of it that way.
I'm gonna do it, dude.
See, the reason why I didn't think of it that way though too is because I kind of felt like she was lying about that being Stu's mask because it's not as aged as Billy's. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it could be. That's the biggest thing for me.
She claimed it was
Mrs. Loomis's mask more deteriorated than Stu's.
Yeah. I don't know, but that could be.
That's a good point.
That could just be continuity with the.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That could be. I mean, again, at this point, I'm going with I'm going with it. She said this is Stu's. That was her favorite, was Stu's.
Right.
Stu. And I'm like, isn't it interesting that the character who loves Stu wears his mask, faked her death?
You're right. That is a great
interesting
point. Wow, bro. That's a heck of a point. I did not think of it like that.
Yes. I gotta do a video with that, man. I gotta get that on a video. I haven't done anything with it, but it's something
Did you do the video about the drawing?
No. Hembry?
Yeah.
The principal? No. But it's maybe I'll do that along with this other
definitely. I heard you guys talking about it the other day, and I was just like,
that's right.
Steven definitely got to do that video.
I got to do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow because that is huge.
That's massive.
Yeah. No one knew that. No one saw that but the killers.
Right. This is another thing that's interesting too. I'm speaking in the context of I believe there were more killers in Scream 6 that didn't get revealed. Where were Mickey's and Amber's masks?
Yeah, did they ever use them? They never used those, did they?
Nope. And every single mask was off that mannequin.
That's true. You think maybe they just didn't get around to it? But it didn't seem like it because
they had Roman's mask and everything. That's what tripped me out. I'm like, you had Roman's mask, you had Jill's, you had Charlie's. Why not have Amber and Mickey's mask?
Yes, Amber and Mickey. That's right.
That did puzzle me a little bit. I was just like, huh. And I'm just like, were there 2 other killers we don't know about? I mean, I said it. I think they did. I know they try to make Kirby look like a massive red herring.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, I think she is possibly undercover as a mastermind or something. Because it's just the time frame it took for her to get to New York. It doesn't add up with her trip from Atlanta. She had to already be in New York. That phone call, and then that whole last scene. You know what I mean? Like she was just being funny, and then all of a sudden she gets attacked, and just like something didn't add up to me. And that subway scene with what's his name? Danny. He's another one, bro. I don't trust him. I'll be honest.
Danny, I
don't trust him. That subway scene. And I did a video about this, and I really broke it down. When that ghost face in the plain mask is basically charging them, and Danny stands in front of Sam, and then they just go out the other door. If that was a regular human being and not a ghost face killer underneath that costume, if that wasn't somebody who was targeting them, they would have went out the door that was right next to them. There was a door, literally, all they had to do was turn and walk out that door. You know what I mean? In the subway. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, nah, something's not right. And another reason why I picked up on that too is Danny or whatever. He stands in front of that ghost face like he's about to protect Samantha, like he's trying to protect Samantha.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting is when he seen Ghostface in the house, all you tried to do was call. you didn't try to go out the front door, and we know you can get through the front door because it's open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so why in that
Mhm.
instance you ain't want to go, be, the protector and the saver in that moment, but then in this moment you're trying to act like you're protector and saver. I'm not buying it. That scene to me, in my opinion, is the biggest, like my biggest smoking gun. That there's got to be more killers. You know what I
Interesting.
mean?
Yeah, man.
Outside of the Gale scene,
Mhm.
that scene to me, because I'm like, why would this Ghostface feel the need to rush Samantha? Run towards them. There's a door right next to it. They don't got to go out that side, that door that Samantha and them are standing at. They don't got to.
That's right. Nope.
So
Ooh, could
they're,
be, man.
bro. And we've talked about it. I feel like Scream 6, they did do a lot of things that a lot of us was talking about. I don't care what anybody says. They jacked your core 4, man. They listened to your channel and they heard core 4. Think we like that.
I was
Bro,
shocked,
But
man.
when I heard that, because I went to see it on Thursday before I already had my Friday ticket booked, but then everybody was going to see it Thursday, and I'm like, can't wait. You know what I mean? So I go to
Yes.
see it, and when that part came up, when Chad said it, I looked over at my buddy Ryan, and I'm just like, and he's like, what? And I'm just like, bro, my buddy Steven came up with that. He is the first one to start calling them that. I was like, we
Yep.
all followed suit, but he is the first one who said
Mhm.
that. I'm like,
That's right.
I said they were stooging on his videos.
I wish I could get confirmation, but it is awful coincidence that because when I created that phrase, I'd never heard it before. It came to me just to call him the Core Four, and I was back in like February after 5 came out, like what, over a year ago, man. I've been calling him the Core Four for that long.
Yep.
And I remember announcing it like and saying on the Lethal Collective, even I was like, guys, I got a phrase that I'm using now. And we started using it, and then it kind of spread in the community. We all started,
Yep.
dude.
It
And
just
that
has
was
a ring to it.
February of last year, Marcus,
Yeah.
that I pinned that phrase. And here's Chad, the Core Four. Ah, dude. I'm like, I don't know, man. I can't say for sure, but it's an awful coincidence. Let me put it that way. It's a crazy coincidence if they didn't hear it. I was like, man, would have been nice to see in the credits, like, thanks to you craving something scary in the credits. I'd have been like, oh my gosh, I'd have passed out.
Oh, bro, that would have been so cool. Oh man, because I stayed for the post credits and stuff.
Uh-huh.
If I would have seen that, I would have hurry up, pulled out my phone, click, click. I would have tried as fast as I can, and I would be like, "Look, bro, look, they got you in the credits." Like,
Dude.
that would have been really, really cool. Heck, that would have been a way better post credit than the one we got.
Oh gosh. Agreed. We've already seen Ferris Bueller in 1980 and
Bro,
1986.
when they did that, because I ain't gonna lie, because my buddy Ryan, he didn't know about the post scene, so he was ready to go. And he was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "There's supposed to be a post credit scene. I want to know if Cindy Prescott's going to be in it." You know what I mean? And he
Yes.
was just like, "Oh." He's just sitting there waiting, and it comes up, and she says what she says, and he looks at me, and he's just like, starts laughing. I'm just like, "Man, let's go." I was so mad. I was like, "That was it." I was like, "Come on, they could have did way better."
Yes.
Like, I get it; they were trying to be funny, but kind of took my morale down a little bit.
Yeah. It was a letdown for sure there. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, man, like it's so much like with this movie. Like, I feel like they definitely did do a lot of fan service stuff. I feel like this,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get here to the omnibus and all that stuff because I know I don't have you for too much time and stuff. So I do want to talk a little bit about the original
Yeah, definitely.
and
Yes.
stuff like that. But what I feel like what they did the most in this film is laid the groundwork for a cult that is
Right.
operating together and not separate. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they definitely laid that groundwork because we got 5 total killers in this movie. I will say this.
Yeah.
I will say this because, especially with the dialogue with Ghostface, I think that Jason was involved with Richie and the family, but I think the family because they wanted to be the ones to kill Samantha first, and Jason was all about finishing the movie. They had to get rid of him.
Maybe.
Because that piece of dialogue when he's on the phone and he's like, and Ghostface said, we talked about a lot of things, or we said a lot of things. And Jason looks at the phone and he's like, is this Greg? Why would you need to hesitate if you only had that conversation, these style of conversations with one person?
Yep. Yeah.
You know, so when I caught that, I was like, ooh, I was like, maybe they were working together, but Jason went against the grain and was just going to go into business for himself. Bailey and them found out about it and was like, all right, snip it in the bud and stuff like that. Now, I do want to ask you this before we get on to it. Why do you think, or I'll say it this way, do you think them, I don't know if you heard about this, cutting the fact that Bailey and Ethan killed the mother?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why do you think there's a reason why they did that? Like, will the mother, like, is the mother maybe somebody, you know what I mean, that's going to come into play later in the franchise? Because Kirsch and Bailey isn't their real last names, according to Radio Silence. Yeah, they said those names are pseudonyms. That's what they said.
Interesting. Yeah. So we don't really know who they are for real, right. For sure.
Right.
I mean, that was crazy, man, that they would kill their mom because she wouldn't go along with the killings. Right. That's insane, man. And this is Richie's family, which, I mean, considering what he did, I guess it makes sense. You know, they're all right. But what if they were killing before this, though? And, you know, I don't know. How long have they been killing? Or you know, was this, you know what I'm saying? Was this the first time after they killed the mother because she says, no, I'm not going to do this thing in New York? I'm not sure if they were clarified when they killed her, or were they referring to that current murders? Mm-hmm. You think? Right? I mean, like in other words, we're going to do this in New York with Sam and Tara.
That's interesting. That's a good question to ask. Were they killing before?
Yeah. Do they just start with this, or do they have other victims that we don't know about?
Right. And who is this mother?
And who's the mother? Richie's mom. Was it, you know? Sorry. Yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of Mickey, did you catch Quinn's line from Scream 2 when she took her mask off?
Yes.
She says, didn't see that coming, did you?
Didn't see that coming, did you? Yep.
She pulled right out of Scream 2, man.
Yep. That was nice. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they could have had so much more potential if they let them do kills that like actually made. I'm gonna put it this way, because I felt like Dermont was the one doing most of it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I now think it was Ethan. And the reason why.
Hang on, Marcus. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, everybody in the chat, my bad. I mean, hey, look, we're talking about Scream 6 a little bit early. I haven't got to talk to Steven in a little bit, so this was bound to happen. You know, guys, don't be mad at us, but we are definitely going to talk about some Scream 1 through Scream 3. I know I don't have Steven for too much more time, so we're definitely going to try to zip through Scream 1 and all that stuff, and then I will be here for Scream 2 and Scream 3. I did have some more guests lined up, but they also did notify me that they might not be able to make it. So, you know, we'll see. But one way or another, we're going to keep this bad boy going.
All right. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, my friend.
May have to do that a few times, you know.
Hey, it's all right, man. You know, you got to get taken care of.
Yes.
And stuff. But, heck, what was we talking about before that?
Oh, my gosh. It was...
I think the mom.
And and we were talking about, you know, Scream 2 and Bailey and I mean Quinn, and you were talking about Bailey. You were saying that Bailey did most of the killing.
Yeah.
And that's when I had to take my phones off. I couldn't hear her.
Right. I think now because it's crazy because I just did my killer ranking. I mean, I just did my killer ranking the other day and stuff, and I had Ethan so low because I felt like he didn't do anything. But then when I really went back and thought about it, I was like, Ethan was trying to impress his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And that scene where Bailey's talking about Richie, about the bond between him and his first son, and it quickly pans to Ethan, and you see his face. You can tell that, you know, it bothers him and stuff. What if Ethan was the one doing all the killings to impress his dad? You know,
Could
and stuff
be.
like that. He was the main one going to the bodega, doing this, doing that, and all that stuff. Like, I don't think it's out
Yeah.
of the question to think just because of that fact. Like, he was trying to basically essentially be Richie or live up to Richie.
Yes. Yes. 100%. He's probably felt the pressure,
Right.
you know, wanting to come out of the shadow of his brother. You know, and even then in the shrine, Bailey's playing Richie's movie.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still, you know, he still has this elevated sense of whatever towards Richie because he's playing his movie, and
Yep.
so you know it's probably still making Ethan feel like he's kind of
Yeah,
more
like he's
obscure.
second tier.
Yeah, second tier. Yeah, yeah, man. And speaking of Ethan, I just have to say this: there's been a lot of people I've seen and heard about that are trying to say that when they threw the TV on
Mm-hmm.
Ethan, that was their way of saying Stu is dead. You know, and like I've seen that in a scary movie once, and I did a video the other day. There's an article, an interview with James Vanderbilt,
Mm-hmm.
the main writer and producer. He specifically talked about it, and I put it in the video. The quote: he said he came up with the idea in his head. About her or the character saying, "I saw that in a scary movie once," and he said once they had that idea, he said they had to put this scene in with the TV because he said he wanted to do that with that line. And he
Right.
said it has more to do with that. He says it really had nothing to do with trying to speak to the Stu truthers.
Right.
So he squashed that. So anytime you hear anyone give that argument objection, we
Oh
got to
no.
educate them that
Oh,
no,
absolutely.
James said that is not the case.
It's not.
He didn't do that to try to make any statement about Stu. He said so. Anyway, just wanted to mention
Right.
that.
No, I didn't take that neither because once they did that, I said, okay, you know, they're trying to be funny, but this
Right.
entire movie showed us that he could still be alive. You know what I
Oh
mean? Like
yeah.
all
Yes.
these you know, all these attacks that
Mhm.
these survivors are surviving. Kirby gets shot twice and then gets stabbed in the same spot. Like
Yes, right. Like I said, what did I say, Marcus? This movie forces us to accept things more
yep.
than any other of the films in the franchise. It's there's many moments where we just have to like, you know what? I just have to forget about it and go with it. Just accept it
Right.
so
That's
that
all
it
you
won't
really can
distract
do.
me. Otherwise, it'll distract you. You know, you can't. You gotta just yeah. But I know, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in this movie that every time they do anything unrealistic with killing, I'm like, it just shows how more likely Stu's alive.
Yeah.
How even how you know how much more acceptable it should be to in the universe of the Scream universe. I mean, that he's
Right.
alive. So,
I agree, my friend.
and I didn't say this earlier, but I still have Angelina as a killer, and whenever I'm going to do my Ghostface rankings, which I haven't done yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted to wait till 6 came out. So whenever I do it, Angelina's on the list.
Okay.
There's 15 Ghostface killers now.
Okay.
14 without Angelina, 15 with her.
Yeah.
Because I do
And that's
count.
what I did. I did 14 just
Did you? Okay.
because,
Yeah.
in theory, you know,
Yeah.
it's all we got revealed as 14. But
Right.
I still believe Angelina's alive too.
Sure.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. think it's a possibility Angelina could be one Miss Christina Carpenter.
Yeah. Well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's possible. I think you can make it work. And the only reason why I say you can make it work is because we know Roman was scoping Billy before he approached him. He was watching him.
Yep.
Maybe Roman saw Christina with him, and after Billy died, maybe he approached them too. Because you have to wonder, maybe he approached her too. Maybe, just maybe, you know what I mean? That was her, supposed to be her in Scream 3 helping him.
Yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world. She would want Sydney dead because Sydney, basically, Billy wouldn't give Sydney up for her, and she killed Billy. So
yeah.
And there's a reason, at least in my opinion, there's a reason they ain't show her yet. You know what I mean? Now, I don't think they're going to get Emily Mortimer. I would like them to.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to get Emily Mortimer to, come back and reprise that role. And for people out there who say, oh, well, Sydney would recognize her. Well, this is the thing you got to remember. Sydney didn't even recognize Judy Hicks. So she wouldn't have recognized, what's her name? Chris, if that was Christina, she probably wouldn't have recognized her in Scream 3 if they ever even met.
Right. That's right.
So Sydney wouldn't probably know who she is or what she looks like. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So you could get away with that. And plus, Emily's a little bit older now. If Sydney in Scream 4 didn't remember Judy, because she's been through so much, she might not remember what Angelina looked like, especially older now.
Possible. Yeah. I mean, it's possible. A lot of things can change over whatever it is, 20 some odd years now. 20-something years. And I mean, of all of the, she had one stab wound to the shoulder.
Yeah.
One. We saw, look at Mindy. She gets a stab wound to the shoulder in 5, and then passes out and goes to sleep for the third act on the floor, just out for 30 minutes.
Right.
And then what happens in 6? She gets stabbed again up in that the arm. Was it the arm or the shoulder again? One of the two.
Around the same area.
Around the same area. And then she goes out again. I mean, she survived twice.
Yeah, she did. I think she did get stabbed in the stomach this time. In the subway.
This time. Yes.
Yeah, but
and she still survived though.
Yeah.
Angelina.
Not only did she survive, she came back to tell who the killers were.
Yeah, she came back and was walking really well, and
that's the thing that stood out to me is how did she know it was Ethan and Bailey?
Good question. Unless she's a part of it. I mean, because didn't Sam or Kirby say something about Mindy? Some at the very end, didn't she make some kind of statement like, and they're in Mindy, or where's Mindy?
She thought Quinn was Mindy underneath the mask.
Wow, I missed that.
Yep.
So she said that before she revealed
herself. Before Quinn revealed herself, she said if it's you two, then that leaves Mindy, and then
Quinn revealed herself. Yep. So she was suspicious of Mindy.
Yep.
Dude.
This is another thing too. Gail was suspicious of Kirby. Remember that line when she says, the last time I seen you, you were in Glee Club, whatever. And she said, plus, I don't trust you to keep them safe. Why wouldn't Gail trust Kirby to keep them safe?
Mm-hmm.
There's some things in this movie, man. Like,
wow.
And also another thing too, Steven, check out. I think Paramore did a song on the soundtrack. I seen somebody kind of do a video about it. I didn't really get into it. I just seen like a caption and thumbnail.
Okay.
But Paramore and Stay Alive, that Demi Lovato song.
Yeah.
Bro, I think there's basically some hidden messages in there, especially when it pertains to certain characters in the film, especially with Samantha. And the whole Stay Alive, or whatever, Still Alive, Stu Macher.
Still Alive, yeah.
And there's some things in them lyrics that I'm like, yo, man, that sounds like it's for Samantha. That sounds like it's for this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to hear that entire Paramore song, but I seen like a certain lyric, and I was just like, ooh, that's interesting. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna
Ah,
have to go back in this. I'm gonna have to go in the soundtrack and see what
yeah.
they trying to tell us, Steven.
Same here, man.
Oh man.
Oh man.
All right, so let's get into some Scream One, shall you? Shall we? We're an hour and 5 minutes into the stream,
I
and
know.
we blew it away with Scream Six. So, guys, some of the omnibus for Scream Six is already on here. It's all good.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Hey, I don't care, man. Like I said, we haven't gotten talking a little bit,
it
and
has been.
I definitely wanted to hear some of your thoughts on the film on Scream Six. So I am glad we got to talk about it.
Oh, absolutely. Me too, man. And hey, listen, I know, we're on the air, but I'll go ahead and tell you anyway. So I'm gonna be, sometime soon, I'm gonna have my 9,000 stream.
No, you already have it.
No, but I'm gonna have a celebration stream,
Oh, okay, okay,
like a little
okay.
party, have some games and stuff.
Nice.
So I definitely want you to be a part of that, man, for sure.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I will definitely try. I will say this: I work late on the weekends
Okay.
or whatnot and stuff.
Okay.
But of course, you already know if you're still like going on when I'm like just getting off. You know, I'll come in.
Yeah. Maybe you can come in as their closer. You can be
Yeah,
our,
that's
our
funny because
closer.
that's what I do at work.
There,
I'll be
there you
closing.
go, man.
Okay,
All
so let's
right.
get into it, my friend. Scream
Yeah.
1996, the original Scream, the iconic one, the best one in the franchise that I don't think could ever be touched. I mean, you never know what time may hold for us. You know, maybe
Mm.
Scream 7 will change our perspective, but as it stands right now through 6 films, Scream 1996 has held its weight as the best Scream film of all time. So I want to ask you, my friend, what is it about this film when you first saw it that captivated you? Because I know Scream is your favorite franchise.
It
I
is.
mean, so what is it about this film on first watch that really captivated you as the viewer?
Oh gosh, man, so many things. I when I it was a great whodunit. I loved. There's so many elements of this movie, Marcus, that were like speaking my language because I love whodunits. I love mass killers that are revealed at the end. All that stuff is right up my alley. And the fact that I saw and when I saw the TV ad for it back in end of December of '96, and when I saw the commercial, the trailer or the TV ad, and they're like, someone's taking their love for scary movies too far, and you're seeing all these different things, and I'm like, what? And they're like, I'm like, wait a minute, this is a mass killer, and then it's like, Wes Craven. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So I immediately went like the next day after work ended to the theater, and this was probably like the first week of January at this point, of '97. Got off work, went straight to the theater. I still remember the theater I went to. I remember it all. And I got in there and I watched this movie, dude. And I was just every scene that happened, it's pulling me in more and more and more. And there was not a thing about that movie I didn't like. There wasn't like a scene, there wasn't a scenario, nothing. That's why I call it as close to a perfect movie as you can get for me. And when the reveal came, when it came time where you got Billy at the front door, and I'm like, oh, he was a fake out death. And then your brain doesn't process quick enough because it happens really fast. Because, if you stop to think about, well, if it was a fake out death upstairs, there's an accomplice. But you don't have time to think because as soon as she turns around, she runs to Stu for
Hmm.
help. And he pulls out the voice changer.
Yep.
Surprise, Sydney. Oh, my brain just completely exploded. Seriously, dude. I had never seen two killers ever in a whodunit in these kind of movies. They're always one. So it was the first time for me that I had ever seen two killers. And I will never forget the feeling. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. It was wonderful. And it was a slasher. It was just Wes Craven. It's how he made this, how he filmed it. It was done brilliantly. Cinematography, the
Yes.
production, the acting, all of these actors, these young actors were just on fire, Marcus.
Yes.
And again, cinematography, the sound, the pacing of the film, it was just amazing. It was Wes Craven's touch, and it literally. And the minute I left the theater, I was like on a high, like, right, cloud nine. I started calling everybody. I'm like, "Go see this movie. Go see this
Right?
movie." I was telling everybody, "You got to go see this movie." And last thing I'll say is, I just remember driving home saying, "I just saw a special film. This is not a. This is something different. This is a game-changing movie." I knew it. I knew it at the first watch. And man, let me tell you, it was. We know what happened. It completely revitalized
Yep.
the horror genre. The slasher genre was dead pretty much.
Yep.
And it was direct to video stuff. And now it just completely opened up and blew it up. And what a mark Wes Craven made. That was another time he basically saved a genre like he did
Yep.
with Freddy back in the
Yeah.
80s. So that was my impression, man. First impression of it. And I love it to this day just the same. I can watch it every day. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. I remember actually because so nice. I was 7 when this movie came out.
Oh, wow.
But at that point, I was already well seasoned in horror movies because my mom she prepped me right.
Oh,
She
gotcha.
prepped me right. So
Uh-huh.
for a 7-year-old kid, I was pretty knowledgeable with horror movies.
Okay.
And why this one really stood out to me, and why
Yeah.
Scream is my second favorite franchise behind Halloween,
Hmm.
is because for me, Scream was the first slasher, especially that the fun level of it wasn't so tacky.
Yes.
It wasn't sloppy, tacky. It wasn't
No.
campy. The
Mm-mm.
goofiness was perfect. Stumacher and the way he
Yep.
was goofy, and Randy and his goofiness and stuff, they were perfect. It was so believable. It made you believe like these this is how they are in real life. You know what I mean? And when
Yeah.
you actually go to the conventions, they joke around and stuff like that. It's so
Uh-huh.
the way they portrayed those characters is so close to them how they are in real life, I believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even as a kid seeing that, especially like in the 90s and stuff like that, to me, they captured the feel of the 90s.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
adolescent, you're kind of, getting a little bit rebellious and stuff
Hmm.
like that, but it's fun. You know what I mean? It's not like it's
Yes.
something over the top, it's nothing crazy, it's all fun. And that's what this movie as a kid, I'm just watching and I'm just like, man, I like all of these characters. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's another thing the Scream franchise I feel like they did so well, especially with 96, is they got you to buy into all their main characters.
Hmm.
They
Yep.
got you to like all of them and stuff like that.
It's
Like
true.
I remember, being a fan of Randy, and him and his rules. And you find her liver in the mailbox, Stu, leave her alone, leave
Leave
her
her
alone.
alone.
Just certain stuff like that. But like you said, the cinematography, God,
Oh,
that
yeah.
cinematography, especially those shots outside of Sydney's house
Hmm.
and Casey's house, it's just like, what did Mindy do in 6 to Quinn? Like
That's right.
the feel, it was that feel that something
Yes.
is lurking outside in the dark.
Hmm.
But what's different about this killer compared to all the other ones, outside of Freddy, because he can talk to you in your dreams, but live in action, like in reality, this person can pick up the phone and call you.
Yep.
Bro,
That's right.
in that voice. Rodrell,
Oh,
that's as a kid, that's what really hooked me in. Now I'm not gonna lie, if you go back and rewatch Scream 96, and I've been saying this here lately when I reference, 96 and the voice modulator and stuff, there's definitely certain instances where you can hear Skeet's voice. You know, you can, especially in Sydney's scene. But even his voice as Ghostface, it's so good. Like, it's so crazy. Like, even Skeet Ulrich's Ghostface is like, wow, he's pretty good with that. You can kind of tell it's him, but he's got it down.
Yeah.
But that voice, like being able to call somebody and not just, just wear a mask and breathe and get shot up and stabbed up a million times and you come back and all that stuff. No, like there's so many layers to what the Ghostface or the Father Death, costume and character is. And watching that as a child, it was just like, man, this is cool. And you hit the hammer on the head. The two killers.
Oh,
what?
yeah.
It's not just one. We got two of these bad boys.
Yes.
Like, I remember being a kid, and just like when you said about Stu, that was the one that got me the most. I did not expect that as a kid. When when Billy turns his head and he says, we all go a little mad sometimes. And I just remember being a kid, and I'm just like, well, wait. They had him in the police station earlier. Oh, I see what they did here. They made him look like that on purpose because he's got a partner. Wow. Like, just even being at that young age, it's like I understood that.
Yeah.
And then when Stu, surprise, Sydney, I'm just like, I remember looking at my mom because she had it on VHS.
Yep.
And I think she actually seen previews of Scream or whatever on Halloween 6's, preview cassettes.
Okay. Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's when she said, hey, I want to buy this. This looks good. It's got Drew Barrymore in it. It's Wes Craven. She loves Wes Craven.
Oh, yes. Nice.
So she bought that VHS, and I remember us just sitting down and watching it, and it took off for me from there. I remember when Scream 2, was doing all the promos and stuff. I forced my mom damn near. I'm like, you got to take me. You know what I mean? We got to go. Scream 2's coming out. We have to go. And stuff like it. That's what that movie did. And like you said, it resuscitated, it reinvented and reshaped the genre.
Yes.
Our genre was dead in the water.
It was.
We had all these, sequels to Halloween and stuff like that really weren't, because of continuation eras and so many different directors that kind of, messed up the franchise a little bit. Then, Jason, even though I personally love Jason Lives, everything started to get stale and watered down. And not only that, you kind of did get tired of seeing the same old killers from the 80s.
Right.
And stuff. You wanted something fresh. You wanted something new. And that's what Scream did. But it did it at a time and on a level that I don't think it will ever be matched again. Like, I say this. Halloween started it. In so many ways, Scream finished it. But it keeps, like it's just like Halloween 2018, it restarted it. But Scream 5, ever since Scream 5, now look what I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
Like now we're starting to get all these 90s slashers back as well. Why? Because Scream 5 and now Scream 6 and stuff like that. Like, but the one thing about this franchise as a whole, and I think what 96 set the tone for is consistency.
Yes.
Consistency.
100%.
Consistency within itself. So like Scream 96, man, I honestly could go all night talking about it. It's really that good to me. Like it's on that level with Halloween 78. You know what I mean? It's and this is the main thing I think what I love about Scream on 96. And some of them kind of had that feeling to it. But to me, Scream 96, it had that feeling of more, we know we're making fun of ourselves and we don't care because we're making fun of you too.
Yeah.
I love that. Like all that, when Sydney says, what's the point? What's the point? All it's about is some, killer coming after some big breasted girl who should be, who's running up the stairs when she should be running out the front door. It's insulting.
It's insulting.
And
right.
And she kind of does the same thing, but only because her door was locked.
That's right.
just
was
things
it's
like that. Like,
perfect.
it
Yeah.
was like you said, man. This movie is dang near perfect of a film, like everything. And
Yeah.
then the score. The score is
Oh,
so good that
so
when
good.
Halloween H2O came out, they had to jack it.
That's right. They sure did. I remember seeing Michael Myers walk down the road and with the music from Scream with Ghostface and stuff. I'm like, oh
Yep.
my gosh, this is wild. That's why I call H2O. I call it hollow. I call it Hollow Scream
Yep.
or
It really
Screamoween.
is.
Yeah.
It really is though. I remember when me and my mom and my sister went to go see H2O in the theaters, and my mom pointed that out. She's like, "That's the Scream music."
Yep.
And stuff. And I'm just like, that's where I heard that before. Like, and I get it, they were, paying homage to Scream and stuff like that, but they went a little bit overboard. But that score,
Right. Yeah. So
this
good.
franchise, especially with Radio Silence, they miss Marcos Beltrami so much.
Oh my gosh, I agree, man.
Like their chasing
Yes.
music is really underwhelming, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, 5 and
Yep.
6's chasing scores. I'm just like, it sounds
Yeah.
like honestly, it sounds like some of the scores we can get off Canva.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Really,
Oh dang.
it sounds like you can get it off Canva. I'm just listening to it and I'm just like, man. The one thing about Marcos Beltrami's score is it made you feel like something was about to go
Mhm.
down. Like
Yes.
it had that authority that and
Yeah.
then
It's
it
good.
just creeps. I'm just like, oh man, it's so good. Like they need
It
him back.
is.
Is he still alive and well?
Yeah, he is, man.
Well, they need to give him a call.
Yeah. Well, the reason I think Radio Silence has chosen Brian Tyler is because he worked with them on Ready or Not. So
Yeah,
they're probably friends. They have a relationship, and so they're staying loyal to
right.
him. And it's just the way I look at the score for 5 and 6, it's just non-memorable. It's just non-memorable. It's like,
To really tell the truth.
it's true. It's like the only thing I remember is when they played Dewey's theme with Gail, when they played his theme for that
Yeah,
little
when he
bit.
played his team.
I mean, I remember that. The rest of it, I couldn't. No, but Marco Beltrami, though, his scores, I would remember the music after the movie. Like Sydney's theme.
Yep.
Ah, ah,
Yeah.
dude, that is so good.
Oh
And
man,
it's just and all of this chase scene music, it just doesn't matter. Whatever, it's wonderful music. And
it really
if
is.
they had Beltrami on 5 and 6, that would have enhanced it incredibly, dude. Yes, it's a shame. I
Especially in
know.
6
Yeah.
when we got a little bit more chase scenes.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Oh,
Wow. Imagine the ladder scene. Beltrami's score in
oh,
that.
bro. Oh
Oh,
my goodness, man.
dang
Wow.
it. And I'm afraid it's going to be Brian Tyler again for 7. I think I
Man.
think I think they'll bring him back again, but
Yeah.
it's just
Like
not
you said, they're
memorable.
friends. It's a thing we call cronyism.
Right. Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's man,
Yeah.
that Beltrami score, man. Like it's funny, like you said, you remembered it. Like I just
Yeah.
remembered it. Like you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
it's just so many, layers to that score that it just you will never forget it.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean?
Hey,
Like,
Marcus, I'll be right back, buddy.
yeah, no
I'll
doubt,
be
buddy.
right back.
Yep. I'll be right back. But yeah, guys, like I was saying to Steven, like that Marcos Beltrami score, oh man. I think after the stream, I'm just gonna play, the entire Scream 96 score while I'm still up putting other things together, other live streams and all that stuff. It's gonna be fun. Like, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do after the stream tonight. This score is it's amazing. All right, I'm gonna get to some of you guys' comments here. I know I've been, me and Steven have been flowing. I haven't really been able to get to you guys' comments and all that stuff. You guys know how it goes, especially when we're having a great conversation and all that. But the spicy general Val says the opening scene of Scream scared me like Halloween '78 did. Yes, Yeah, I can agree with that, Val. Like, it was so suspenseful. But what I love about Scream's opening scene is the cat and mouse, the whole game, you know, the trivia and all that stuff. But I also like it before we got to the trivia when he's basically like asking her out on a date and she lies and basically says she doesn't have a boyfriend, like things like that, like the dialogue and all that stuff. Like, Scream's opening scene is one of the greatest, if not the greatest opening scene to a film of all time, in my opinion. Like, I think you can argue that it is for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Ghostface Fanatic says Scream is my favorite franchise, then Halloween behind it because the Scream movies are more humanly to me and is a real person underneath the mask, and it's the realistic franchise. I can agree with that. I can understand why some people will put Scream ahead of Halloween. I don't hate on that at all. You can't go wrong with neither one.
Yep. True.
Kaylee Williams, what's going on, Kelly? Always do this, Kelly. I'm sorry. Kelly Williams says, my favorite horror film is Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Freddy Krueger was
Okay.
more scary ASF to me. Candyman, had me scared for 7 years. Yeah, let me tell you something. As we like to say here, Candyman had the whole hood shook. you wasn't you wasn't uttering that name.
That's
He
funny.
had the whole block scared. Like, definitely. Candyman is a classic too. I feel like he doesn't get enough love.
True.
Michael Joe, what's going on, buddy? I don't want my Halloween movies to be similar to Scream. Well, what I mean, I personally don't mind, the references and the homages, as long as it doesn't get too heavy. Like, they did go a little bit heavy in H2O with copying the score. Outside of that, though, I
Yeah.
don't mind it mirroring some things from Scream. Heck, it could use a little bit of tips from Scream, in my opinion, and especially in terms of some good
Mhm.
consistency. Like, it could definitely take some tips from Scream, Michael, in my opinion. I mean, I love Halloween, the Halloween franchise, but I'm also a critic of it, and Scream is a more consistent franchise than Halloween. Even if you don't particularly like Scream 5 and Scream 6, I haven't heard anyone really say it's a bad movie. They are bad movies.
Yeah.
You get a couple of those in the Halloween franchise. There are people that say Halloween 5, even Donald Pleasance himself said Halloween 5 was rubbish. So,
Wow.
yeah. Oh, yeah. He said that. He said it was rubbish. Yep.
Oh. Oh yeah. He's like, didn't he say like he only took the job because his daughters said that that Carpenter did that precinct assault on precinct 19,
Yep.
and that's why he basically did it for his daughters, I think, essentially.
Yep. I think also as well for Danielle Harris too, because he had a really close bond with her.
Oh,
Oh yeah, like I was watching that
nice.
documentary. I think it was the one of the Halloween 4 documentaries, and this is when Danielle was a little bit grown up, like she was like in her 20s and stuff like that. And they asked her about Donald Pleasance, and she said, "I miss him so much. I just absolutely adore and love him." She was like, "He
Oh,
was such a great man." She said, She said, and I still have it. He gave me his Winnebago or whatever,
oh,
so I can dress and rehearse and everything by
oh,
myself and all that stuff. Like, yeah,
that's
they had a
nice.
close relationship. It was a bond, like, and you can see that, in my opinion, you can see that in 4 and 5. You can see
Yeah,
that them two, the tightness that it was there.
I just remember how man he's like gone bonkers in 5. Here's the
Yeah.
girl. Here
Yeah.
she is. He's like, oh,
You
dude,
want her? Here she is.
is she?
Yeah, little girl.
Yeah, he like lost it, dude. He
Oh,
was
bro, I'm gonna do. I actually have a video in mind or whatever
yeah.
that I'm gonna be doing called "The Three Shades of Loomis," and I'm gonna be covering Donald Pleasance, Malcolm McDowell, and Tom Jones Jr.'s iterations of Doctor Loomis. Because
Okay.
what a lot of people miss with Tom Jones Jr. and I credit Tom Jones Jr. as being the newer versions Doctor Loomis because that's who we saw, that's who we
Yeah.
got.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between Loomis of the newer times compared to the older times is this Loomis, Tom Jones's Loomis, believed you could kill Michael. The original
Mm,
Loomis, he didn't believe in that.
that's right.
He did not believe you could kill him. So
Nope.
I'm gonna actually do a three-part video about that and all that stuff. But yeah, because y'all
Nice.
know I love me some Donald Pleasance. That's my guy.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. He was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna read a couple more comments here, and then we are gonna move on to Scream 2, the sequel.
Oh yeah.
Ghostface Fanatic said, I don't have a problem with supernatural stuff, but it's just better to me when it's a human that can die. It's more realistic and unsettling. Okay. I can understand that to a degree and all that stuff. It is unsettling. Yeah, especially the unsettling part. I was talking to
Yeah.
Sean. MMA Russ, what's going on, buddy? Glad
Hey.
you could make it tonight. Russ says, honestly, I hate everything other Laurie Strode and H2O. It felt almost like a parody in certain places and not in a good way.
Hmm.
Hmm,
Okay.
that's interesting.
I actually like H2O.
I do too. I'm a fan of H2O, even though there's definitely some continuation problems, and they had issues with the whole CGI mask and all that. I still
Yeah.
think it's a good follow up. I really do.
Yeah.
It captured. I will say this about H2O: it recaptured the feeling of what a Halloween movie is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like the way he stalked, the way he waited, the patiently waiting, and all
Mm-hmm.
that. I love that about Halloween H2O. I
Yeah.
love that he wasn't uber aggressive like he had gotten in
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they kind of took it back to the basics. That Michael is a lurker. He's a stalker.
He's a stalker. That's right.
Yeah, I loved that, and they did a really good job doing that, especially the LL Cool J scene.
Oh yeah, man. Yes,
I
sir.
thought he was when Michael started walking past the car. I thought LL was going to get it, and Michael spared him.
He did.
Michael
He
spared
sure
him. I
did.
was shocked that he spared.
Yeah, man. I like it. It's a fun, and, and the ending of H2O. In my
Yes,
mind, I pretend in my canon that is Michael.
that's Michael.
That she chops the head off of Michael. It's that she. I don't buy the whole resurrection. I don't.
Nah,
I don't do the whole resurrection thing. It was a fake out.
excuse me.
The paramedic that was actually. I like to think when I watched H2O, that's Michael. She beat him. She
Oh
won.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was Michael. That was
Yes.
Michael, and that's why when she came back for Resurrection, she just did it the way she did. You know what? Just kill me off because I'm tired.
Yep.
You took away my moment basically, and in so many
Hmm.
ways, when I rewatch Halloween Ends, I think that was her redemption for Halloween H2O.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they ended up bringing him back after that. They didn't give her character's full closure, and
Hmm.
Halloween Ends. I mean, unless somebody's going to go in that grinder and
Oh.
pick the pieces up and
Oh.
stitch him together. He ain't coming back from that one.
No. I don't think he's coming back, man.
He's not coming back from that one. Maybe in a different timeline, obviously, and
Right. They'll
stuff,
have to
but
start
not
fresh.
not in the Laurie Strode universe no more. he's
No.
he's pieces. Oh man. But okay, buddy. So let's move on to some Scream 2, shall we?
Yes.
Um, what are your thoughts on Scream 2? What
Oh.
was the because see, this is the part in the Scream franchise where we do start to get some flaws, along the way. Nothing's gonna ever be as near perfect as the original,
Right.
and we
I agree.
accept that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We accept that going in with every sequel. I'd like to think. You know what I mean and stuff. So for you, what was the highs of Scream 2, and what were the lows of Scream 2? What did you enjoy most?
Mhm.
What did you think they kind of missed the mark on?
Oh boy. First of all,
Oh
Scream
boy.
2 is an outstanding sequel. It is. It's such a solid movie. And again, when you have Wes Craven, this is a legendary filmmaker and
Absolutely.
director. And when you have him at the helm, it's gonna be good no matter what it is, because he knows how to bring these the script to life. You know,
True.
because I mean, I remember Wes saying in an interview, Kevin Williamson is literally writing. All it says is this person gets stabbed. Wes makes it scary. That's all he says. Wes makes it scary. So Wes, so much of what we see on screen is Wes's mind. It's his imagination. It's
Hmm.
his vision. So you're already starting so far ahead of most other films, just having him at the helm. So some highs for me, the opening,
Oh,
for sure. I mean, literally one of the best openings of all six movies, in my opinion, with the theater scene, Jada and Omar,
mhm.
and it was just really, really, really good. And like that, for example, that whole bathroom scene with Omar, all it
Yeah.
said, Wes said, all the script said was, um, whatever the character's name was, Phil, right? Phil
Yes.
Stevens.
Phil Stevens. Yep.
Phil goes to the bathroom, gets stabbed. Wes makes it scary. That's it. There's nothing else to it. So that whole bathroom stall, that was Wes Craven's. That was Wes Craven's writing,
Nice.
and he said that and here's something else. I'll just I geek out a little bit on these movies, dude. So reel me in if I start going too far.
Okay.
Uh, but uh, but um, Wes told a story that one of the guys on his crew for many years knew some guy who was actually really involved in the mafia in New York,
Oh.
like real underground criminal stuff. And this was the back, apparently years prior. And he said that they this that that they were actually ruthless, and that there was a guy that came in, I guess didn't pay his stuff or whatever, and he sat in a chair, and someone, I'm going to say this carefully for the stream, but someone came from behind him and forcibly entered him in the
Oh.
back
Oh.
with a blade,
Oh. Wow.
and it went through the back of the chair into him.
Oh.
And so Wes heard this. That happened in real life. So Wes took that. He said, "Well, let me see. I want to put that into. I want to apply that to this scene." And that's how the bathroom wall stabbing
Wow.
came about. That's a story behind that scene. So
Wow.
the next time you watch that movie and you watch it, you'll remember that came from a real life person
A real life situation.
that was hit, stabbed through the back of a chair, and it went when the
Wow.
blade went through it all the way. So that's how that happened. Anyway, so just a little trivia for you there. You may, I don't know if you knew that
Wow.
or
Yeah,
not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's so Wes would do this stuff. So the entire opening of Scream 2, phenomenal. Uh, I have to say this: I never saw Debbie Salt coming. Nancy Loomis. That was a surprising reveal. I never suspected her of anything. Um, Man, dude. I mean, it's one of the best chase scenes of the whole movie. I mean, the whole
Yes.
franchise. Gail in the studio. I mean, that's a highlight. The car scene where they had to climb over Ghostface.
Hmm.
Huge, huge, awesome scene. Um, and I love a high point for me is Cotton Weary. I think that, I mean, Liev Schreiber played it perfectly, and I just ate up Cotton Weary's scenes. He was so good in that role, and they did a great job of making him the huge red heron of the movie.
Right.
And what else was a highlight? Those are the big, and well, you know, some of the things that I wasn't a big of a fan of was losing Randy. I was really torn up about Randy going. That's probably the big one that, like, if I could change it, it would have been to keep him alive. Um, I don't have a lot of negative points on too. I mean, look at CC Cooper. What a great tenseful, suspenseful sequence when she's in that house, and and the whole stalking her in the house, and
Yeah.
then her throwing off the stuff. Um, I don't have a lot of negatives there, Marcus. I'm trying to think. You know, that's probably for now. I'll turn it over to you. I've been talking for a while, but that's. Let me think about it a little bit more, but
Okay.
I'll see what you come up with. And
Hey man, hey, if you don't have nothing negative about it, that's a great thing.
I mean, it's so good. I think it's done really, really, really well. And so I wouldn't have killed Randy. That's the big one. And yeah, outside of that, man, I mean, there's so much to love. I mean, Dewey at the tree, and then we hear the Dewey's theme. That's
Yes.
just iconic now to them for this franchise. I think I dug Gail's hair. I think it's my favorite
Oh
hair
yeah.
for Gail. Um,
What did Dewey say? Nice streaks.
nice streaks. Yeah, that's right. Mickey was a great killer.
Yes.
He was, he was trying to manipulate Sydney. I remember in the hospital, and here and there, and brutal killer, man. Mickey was a
Yeah.
brutal killer. And one scene I want to talk about that most people just try to just rip to shreds and criticize is Jerry O'Connell singing in the cafeteria. I don't mind it.
I like it.
Hey, I think I love you. I don't have a problem with it. Some people are
Me
like, "Oh,
neither.
it's terrible." I'm like, "Well, he's not trying to audition for The Voice.
Right.
He's trying to, okay, he's
Right?
trying to.
Exactly.
I mean, that's not his intent as a
Yeah, he's
singer.
trying to profess his love to the girl.
That's right. That's what it's about, not The Voice." So I like the scene. I think it's charming, honestly, and
Oh yeah.
so I have no problem with it. But you know what's crazy about that scene? You've got Hallie, and who else is there?
Mickey.
Mickey and Hallie. Sorry, Sydney and Derek.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is you've got Mickey the killer right there, who literally, like, he's playing around with them. He's supporting them. He's like, "Yo, come on, everybody!" And he's literally intends to kill every one of them, all
Yep.
three of them. That's just crazy, psychopath, dude.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's great that you pointed that out because yeah,
Yeah.
Mick, and there was multiple times like he was basically there in plain sight throughout the whole film.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like he
yeah.
was
Everywhere.
right there.
Yes. And then he disappears for a
Yep.
very long time.
Yep.
We don't see him anymore. And of course, he's out doing his stuff with the car and doing all this stuff. And I love how even Mickey, the character, points it out when he gets on stage. When he reveals himself, he's like, "Thanks a lot, partner.
Yep.
Bailed on me, left me to do all of this on my own." So like he's even acknowledging like he's been busy. He's been all over the place.
he's the one putting in all the work.
Yes, exactly. And I believe that's true. I think
Yeah.
he did do all the work. It wasn't Loomis. She
No,
killed,
outside of Randy, I think that's the only one. Outside of Randy
Yeah.
and chasing Gail, I think that's the only thing she did. And
I think you're right.
Dewey.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
stabbing Dewey.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
it.
so she stabbed Dewey, she chased Gail, and she killed Randy.
Yes. Like that's it.
Wow.
Mickey was busy.
Wow. When you really think about it or whatnot, it all makes sense for them to be the ones that she would attack because they are, connected to Woodsboro.
That's right.
Wow, I never
Yeah.
thought of it that way. Holy crap.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating, because see that's a beautiful thing about being a content creator and breaking down these movies that even in the middle of a live stream, you'll think of something that you never even caught before. It could be years. This movie came out in 98.
No, December December
97.
December 12th or 14th of 97.
Yes, 97.
Yeah.
That's right. So, like, all these years passed. I've watched this movie, countless times, and I just now thought of it. Like, wait a minute, the ones that Mrs. Loomis really targeted are the ones that are connected from Woodsboro.
Yeah.
Wow, that's what I mean. That's crazy.
Those that were
Wow.
there when Billy was killed, those that were involved in the scene.
Yep.
Yeah. It's true.
Basically like Dumont and Six.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, man, I really do like Scream 2 a lot. I think it is like one of the best like sequels for a film ever.
Ever. Yes.
Like and we know this, Steven, it's very rare you get a really good, let alone even a solid or an okay follow-up to an iconic original.
Right.
Really hard for a sequel to live up to the
Very.
original. Now, it's not near perfect as 96, but for a sequel to an iconic film,
Mm-hmm.
this definitely did stand on its own twos, if I should say it that way.
Yeah, I
It
think
definitely
so.
did stand on its own twos.
Yes.
And like you said, the opening scene. The first time everybody was, especially for Six hyped because, things were going to be opened up now. We got Ghostface in public and all that stuff and all
Mhm.
that. But Scream 2 actually did that first. We already got that. You know what I mean? That whole movie theater scene,
Yep.
like that was amazing. And the dialogue in the bathroom with Phil. I want to say, what was they saying? I can't remember exactly what they were saying to Phil. Or
Oh, yeah. Mickey was like saying, trying to remember, it was something like, "Oh, sorry, mommy.
yes,
Sorry,
yes,
mommy."
yes,
So like
yes,
he was already given a clue with saying mommy.
yes,
And of
yes.
course, we don't know when we're watching it, but looking back on it,
Yep.
he's already tipping the clue that the mommy
Yes.
is involved. It's the mommy, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes. Wow. Yep. That's exactly what he was saying. Because I remembered like after breaking it down, like, okay, yeah, he said, I'm sorry, mommy, but after, not watching it for a little bit, it's like, wow, what exactly did he say? And stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like that opening
Right.
scene, stabbing a knife through the wall, I thought that was, I knew
Right.
that was
I'll be right
Mickey for
back.
sure. Yep, no doubt, buddy. Steven, gotta get taken care of real quick. I'm gonna hit up some of you guys' comments, and then I'm gonna continue, my thoughts about the opening scene of Scream 2, and then move on, to other stuff. What I like about Scream 2, and a little bit of lows that I have personally. Man, says Craven has been booked and busy today, spreading that knowledge. That's right. That is right, man. Absolutely.
It's been fun, man. I streamed a little on my own channel for about an hour. Oh, we lost Marcus. Well, hey everybody. It's I'll hold it down until he comes back. Hey guys. So, oh, there he goes. Here he comes. There he is. Oh, there he goes.
I don't know why the camera turned off.
No worries, man. I got you covered if
Yeah, I
you
know, buddy.
buzz out.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. No, I was just saying I streamed on my channel for about an hour, and then about an hour and a half later, hour and 25 minutes later, I streamed with Knight for about another hour and something. And then I basically left his stream and came right to yours. So
Man, yeah, you've been a
it's been
man
a
on a
busy
mission
night.
today.
I have. I've had nurses coming in. I've had all kinds of people coming in, and I just pause it. I mean, not pause it, but I just go off camera and get my
Yeah,
whatever I need to, do what I need to do, and then it's been fun. No, it's been
absolutely.
fun.
As you should, man. I mean, you got to get taken care of and all that stuff.
Yeah,
But
man.
again, buddy, I'm glad you was able to make it and all that stuff, because I know it's difficult times right now and all that stuff, but it's really good to hear your voice and see your face and talk some scream, my friend, because it's been
Heck
long
yeah.
overdue, long
It is
overdue.
so long overdue, man. We at some point we're gonna have to have a Scream 6 stream. I know we
Oh,
talked for an hour about it, but still, there's still a lot we could talk about for 6 and theories and
oh,
stuff.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's why I even
Um.
said when I did my recaps last week and
Uh-huh.
stuff, I'm like, man, like, yeah, we're talking about some stuff, but I feel like there's just so much more to this movie that that you can break
Yeah.
down, like So
I know.
we can definitely do that. We'll have to plan for it.
Yeah, man. But no, I can go a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I can
about
go
to
a
say,
little
cool.
longer.
All right, cool. Because I'll say I'll give my thoughts here on the rest of Scream
Yeah.
2, and then we
Yeah, I want
can,
to hear what you got to say about 2, man.
yeah. So again, like the opening scene, I really thought that was another legendary, iconic opening scene. I think you can throw that up there with another one of the best opening scenes in horror history.
Mhm.
Like killing killing Jada in front of everybody in the movie theater, but no one knows exactly what's going on.
Oh, man.
That was beautiful.
It
That was
was.
beautiful touch right there. Like, there's the one moment where you do see the girl looking at her elbow because the blood gets on her
Uh-huh.
and
And the
stuff like,
guy too.
yeah, and she's
Remember
like
that?
looking like, where's that
Yeah.
coming from? You know what I
That's
mean? And
right.
stuff. But outside of that, nobody is literally seeing her just getting tore up. And when Ghostface takes the knife, the last stab, and with the like, he's just like cranking on it, and even
Yes.
to point his head goes back and stuff like that. Like he was really like, it reminded me of when they said to Gail, or was it Randy, in the same film. Have you ever felt a knife scrape through human flesh? And have you ever felt a knife
Scraped the bone.
cut
Yeah.
through human flesh and scrape the bone beneath?
Yes.
In that scene with Jada, that's what they was doing. They was scraping the bone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it
Yeah.
was crazy. Like I remember, again being a kid, because at that point I was 8 or whatever and stuff like that. And I just remember that scene and just I was just like, oh, that's brutal right there. Like that's
Yeah, man.
subtly brutal. You know what I mean? It's already brutal enough getting stabbed multiple times, but then when you get that last stab and they're like twisting it and cranking on it, like,
Oh,
oh, like that was gnarly. I must admit. But
yeah, it was.
I loved the fact that we did go somewhere else outside of Woodsboro. I feel like, that was something that was so stale with the other franchises. Even Halloween, we stayed in one location really, which is why I
Hmm.
liked another reason why I liked H2O, because we went outside of Haddonfield
Yep.
and stuff. So in two, we go to the college, which I thought was a really nice setting because there's so much you can do and there's so many victims to be had. Like, wow, you go to a college setting, like this is cool. But another thing I liked was the whole film class. I love that film class scene
Yeah, man.
with Randy, Joshua Jackson. I,
Hmm.
I hope they do bring him back for 7, by the way. Quick
Me
plug,
too.
because I know he wants to come back.
Yeah, he came out and said it. I said, I would love to be in Scream 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I love that entire cinema, basically the original cinema club, in all honesty.
Yep.
I love that scene. I love even more the fact that the teacher is actually a comedian from Philadelphia
Uh-huh.
or whatnot and stuff. And he's
All
actually really
right.
good friends with Jamie Kennedy.
That's right.
And what's interesting about that, and I'm sure seen it, is that scene where Joshua Jackson says the right line from Aliens, Jamie corrects him. Jamie was wrong.
He was.
He
Yes.
was wrong. But what I
Right.
love about it is that guy, I forget his first name, but I want to say his last name is Shoemaker, the
Okay.
comedian. He even commented on that post when Jamie wrote about it and said, "Hey, I'm the film professor, and I didn't even know that." And stuff like that. But like that whole scene in the cinema club, like basically, like I loved
Mhm.
it. I loved that entire dialogue. I loved the girl who asks Randy, "So, Mr. Originality, what how would you basically do it or whatever?" And he's like, "I'd let the geek get the girl,
Get the
spray,
girl.
spray."
Yeah.
Like so vintage Randy. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
But I also love how they explored, and this is kind of like what they did with Samantha and Tara's characters in 6, how Sydney she sees this happening. She hears about, the movie theater killings and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
She knows. But Randy, even though deep down inside he may know it's coming, he doesn't want to believe it. And he's trying to move on with his life.
Yep.
And I love that. I love how they, brought that into the story and, show how, the trauma can affect you in so many different ways. You know what I mean? It can affect you to the point where you're on high alert, or it can affect you to the point where you just grow numb of it. You know what I mean? And I feel
That's
like
right.
at that point, Randy was just numb of it. He didn't,
I think so
whatever.
too. Yeah.
It's whatever and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the arrival of Dewey and stuff. And I love that whole scene where everybody basically arrives like at the same time. You get Dewey arriving, then
Yep.
you get Gail and Cotton, Liev. He's the man. Like Liev is just so good in this movie. Like he's so good
Oh
at
yeah.
making you sympathize for him, but
Mm-hmm.
also think he's still a killer.
That's right.
He's
That's
so
true.
good at it. Like I love when basically he looks at Gail and he's like, "You're supposed to give me my 15 minutes," and she's like, "I'll give you your 15 minutes when I get my interview." And
Right.
he walks off and he's like, "Don't walk away from me, Gail. Like, Gail,
Gail,
I did my part."
I did my part. That's right. Oh gosh.
And that's another thing too. He was sneakily funny as well. Like his dialogue, if you really like have a good sense of humor, it was funny. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like
Yeah.
he's just so good. But I love the placement of that. That basically everybody came together, or was brought together in one scene, just in different moments.
Yeah.
And then Joel.
He was great.
Joel was amazing in this film.
Yes.
Like really, really good. Like he was the commonsensical character. Like,
Uh-huh.
nah, like y'all went through this. I'm not trying to go through this.
All I know is he's not in the union no more.
Yeah,
I love that line.
absolutely, absolutely. And that's another thing. Not shying away from what made you great as a film, as the
Yep.
first one.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping that comedy,
That's
but
right.
not overdoing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like that's another
Yeah.
thing. The consistency.
Yes.
The consistency.
That's
Like
right.
they're so consistent with this follow-up sequel that, in my opinion, you can't help but respect this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of that consistency and stuff. And then Sydney being able to have this is the thing I think I like the most about Scream 2 is that even though Sydney deep down inside know this, like she said in the film, this day is coming. I knew this day was coming.
Yep.
She still tried to move on with her life. She still
Right.
tried to have a life. She got a new
Yeah.
boyfriend in Derek. She's got a new best friend in in Hallie. She's going to film school, which, at the time, up until, late years later, when I was older, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize this was her actually following in the footsteps of her mother.
Mm.
This is her following in the footsteps of Maureen, and she doesn't even know it.
No.
She doesn't even
No,
know
she
that her
doesn't
mom is
know
an
it.
actress. That's
That's right.
what you call beautiful artwork and writing right there,
Yeah.
especially going into 3, given that we did get that reveal that Maureen is an actress. Cindy didn't even
Yeah.
know her mother was an actress, and this is what she wanted to do.
It's pretty cool.
But I think the biggest thing for me, what I like about Scream 2, what I felt like in terms of like, this is why Halloween H2O in so many ways would have been I want to say a better number 2, but the proper number 2 to Halloween, the original, is
Okay.
because Sydney, I'm fighting back. I'm not going to keep running. And I felt like in the original Halloween 2 with Laurie, it's not that we didn't get her fighting back, but she was still running from her demons.
Yeah.
She really was. She was still running.
Mm-hmm.
Sydney, in that moment, when her and Hallie get out of that car with Mickey in the front seat, when she makes that decision, I'm done running. I want to find out who this is. I want to
Yes.
put an end to this. That was, I feel like, for me, one of the first times I really got to see a final girl say, you know what? I'm not going to take this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm going to find out who you are. I'm going to put an end to you. You know what I mean? I'm not going to
Yeah,
keep
man.
running from you. The more I run from you, the more you're going to chase.
Yep.
I mean,
I love that.
Yes, and that I loved that too. Like that to me was like, you know what I mean? Like, wow, like she's going to fight back. Now we're going to get a war. You know what I mean? It's not just going to be a one-way street. It's going to be a battle. She's going to fight for her. She's going to fight to stay alive. And whew, Sydney, I'll put it this way. Sydney in this one, you saw the true fighter in her. I'm not just
Yes.
talking about like picking up stuff and hitting Ghostface with it. I'm talking about right hooks, left hooks to Millie, like Mickey. She is laying it in and on him with punches. Like, and that's what I loved about it because it was a realism to it. It was realistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was just, oh,
Exactly.
I'm going to pick up something and hit you with it. No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hit you with my chain. I'm going to punch you in the mouth a couple times. Like, I love that. Like, and I love that for her character development. Like that scene where she's talking to her drama teacher, and he's like, I don't believe you when you say you're a fighter. And then she gives him that look, and
Yes.
she reassures him, I'm a fighter. Like
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Like it was so really well done. And then I'm not even gonna lie, even the iteration of Stab, the movie within the movie,
Yeah, it was great in too. It was
it
great.
really was.
I agree. Yeah.
It really was. You got to see Tori Spelling as Sydney, like she called it in the original,
Yes.
and then Luke Wilson as Billy.
Oh
Like,
gosh. I just remember that reenactment scene of the top of the stairs.
right, right,
Oh,
absolutely. Like I thought that was a really well done because that was the first time we've ever gotten that in a movie. You know, the
yeah.
movie within the movie.
Yes,
You
that's
know, and
right.
stuff like that. That was a really cool concept by Wes, and especially because it tied in to Gail Weathers' character. You know, she
Mm-hmm.
went on to write a book. She went on to do the movie
Yep.
about it. Like everything with that, the original iteration of the idea of putting a movie within a movie was perfect.
Yeah.
It really was. You know,
Yep.
it's in, you know, obviously Scream 3 when it does get a little out of hand and all that stuff. But you know, Scream 2, it was perfect for that. It
Yeah.
really, really was. And then, like you said, man, Mrs. Loomis.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see her coming at all.
Nope,
I
me
didn't.
either.
When Gail comes through that door, I really thought it was Gail.
I did too. For
And
just a
I'm just
second, I'm
like,
like,
what?
it's Gail?
Like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm just like, what? And she even Sydney's like, Gail. And Gail's like, and then Mrs. Loomis comes out, but we think it's, you know, Debbie Salt. And it's like, wait, her?
Yeah, she's a reporter.
You know,
Yeah.
and then Sydney's like, Mrs. Loomis? And then it's just
Uh-huh.
like,
Yes. Mrs.
Billy's
Loomis.
mother.
Loomis. Gosh.
Like,
Oh, Mickey.
oh man, like it was just such a crazy revelation. And
Yes.
what I love about what they did with it is even Gail's looking at her like, wait, what? No, that
Uh-huh.
can't be. I've seen photos of you. And
Yeah.
Sydney's like, well, this is like 60 pounds and a lot of work later. And then she's
Yeah.
like, it's called a makeover.
It's
You
called a
should try
makeover.
it.
You should
Looking
try
a
it.
little tired yourself there, Gail.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Right? Rory Metcalf was awesome. Such an underrated actress, in my opinion.
I
Like
agree. Totally.
she did such a great job in that role as Debbie Salt, Mrs. Loomis,
Yes.
because she was so believable in her role as Debbie Salt that you did not see her coming as a killer. You didn't.
Nope.
Like it was really well done. She
I
played
think
that
so
off.
too, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of my favorite endings. It's up there with my favorite endings for the franchise. It's up, it's I mean the reveal, you
Right.
know. Yeah.
I agree.
Um yeah, it was just wow.
And Mickey, like you said, Mickey, he doesn't get enough love. I will say this,
Mhm.
I don't really care for the motive in terms of him wanting to get caught and really thinking
Yeah,
that was going to work.
going to the
But
trial. Yeah.
what I do like about it is it shows you how insane he is to think that it's
Yes.
going to work. You know,
Yes.
like when he says to Sydney, you know, Mickey is a sick that wants to get
Right.
caught. Yeah.
Yes,
He says it
exactly.
like that, you can't help but laugh. Like, he's so good. He's so good at being deranged. He kind of gave you those Stu Macher vibes.
Yeah.
He really kind of did. Like Mickey was a good killer, and he was smart because what made Mickey smart, even smarter than some killers, is he knew how to play his role in front of everybody.
Yeah.
He blended in without having to put a
Mhm.
mask on.
That's right, man.
And he
He
could
sure did.
accumulated all that information and all those movements that everybody was going to be doing and all that stuff. I love that.
Yeah, he was a good ghost face, man.
He was.
He really was.
And Derek, I liked Derek. I like Jerry
Oh,
O'Connell.
me too.
I liked Derek. I really was hoping that they was going to let him pull through. And then we
Yes.
obviously get the ending scene where, Mickey's trying to implicate him and then he ends up killing him. And I'm just like, oh man, like that was a great way for Mickey to manipulate Cindy's mind, though,
Yeah.
because, history repeats itself. He's my partner. It's your boyfriend again. So,
Yeah.
like, it was really well done. It is literally one of the best sequels ever to a movie ever made. Even if it
100%.
may not be your favorite sequel in the
Right.
franchise, like, it's still, in my opinion, and I'm sure you agree, Steven, like, in terms of a follow up
Yeah.
sequel to an iconic film, you got to put it up there as one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah. I think you do. I mean, think about how many inferior sequels have been released after, following in a horror genre. How many they're just fall flat. And this is unique because
Yes,
it's on par with the original. It's not as good. I mean, it's not, at the first one's a masterpiece, but this is so solid. And they did it it came out in less than a year. I mean, the pace they were working at was insane, but Wes Craven was your guy.
right,
I mean, he was the guy. He was the director. So he kept everything under control and in rhythm and got it done.
right.
Just phenomenal. So yeah. Now, two is not my personal favorite sequel, but two is absolutely a fantastic sequel to the movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd have to say, if there was two lows for me, they're not even really big lows. Well, the one is in agreement with Steven, Randy's death. I didn't want to see Randy die. I was shocked that he died. I wasn't expecting that at all. You know, I really wish they would have kept him, but that's what you call Wes Craven taking chances. Something that Radio Silence did not do in Scream 6, their version of Part 2, with their characters. That's called
Hmm.
taking chances with your returning characters. The shock value and all that stuff. And I think the other low for me, if anything, was the detectives that was hired to protect Sydney. Like, it just, they just, excuse me, they didn't seem like the type of protection that you would really be intimidated by. Like, I just how easily Cotton was able to sneak up on Sydney in the library, and it took for Sydney to basically
Yeah.
charge off for them to even notice anything. Like, like
They were
it's
pretty
just
worthless, man. Let's be
they really
honest.
were. That's like the only two lows out of the film is Randy
Yeah.
dying and those detectives. Outside of
Yeah.
that, as Mindy did to Quinn, it was good.
It
It
was
was a
good.
really good follow up to the original.
It really was, brother. Well,
My friend, I am going to ask you: are you getting tired? Let me know, because
yeah.
if you're getting a little
Uh,
tired and you're ready to go, I understand.
yeah. I mean, I may be having to call it a night here really soon, man.
Okay,
So,
buddy, I understand, bud.
um, I think that what is this? I got
Oh,
something
Scott
as you.
Walker says I got to ask you something, Craven and Scream 3. I think Ghostface killer that attacked Sydney in the movie studio is Stu. Oh, don't think it was Roman. He was at the police station.
Well,
Oh, I get what you're talking about. I get what you're talking about the scene where Sydney is back in Woodsboro in Scream 3.
oh yeah, and she. Well, here's the thing. There's 2 ghost faces there in that soundstage,
Yep.
and so Angelina, I do believe, is the one who was in the bathroom just before that scene, and absolutely is adored Sydney. If you look the way she looks at her, she's like she's obsessed with her. You could tell, and we know there's 2 there because there's no way that Ghostface can go from being inside on her bedroom door
Yep.
and then be directly behind her in less than 2 seconds. It's not. It's
It's
there's
not
no way.
possible.
So there's 2 of them there. So if we're to believe it's Roman and Angelina, then Roman would have had to have been done at the police station and come back because there's 2 killers in that scene. It's one of the most obvious scenes in the movie that
Oh yeah.
there's 2. It's there. Um. So you're saying is it Stu?
Yeah, he thinks it's Stu who's the one who attacked her in Scream 3.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, I mean, if you, it would be in that case, it would have been Stu and Angelina because it's 2 of them. I wish I could just, if Stu is alive, and I do believe he's alive, the question is, was he around through all these movies? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But it's just something to think about. Because if he had his hand in each of the films at some point, then this could be the moment he was there. And it's 3. I don't know. It's a good question.
That'd be
So
some Dr. Gordon Saul stuff right there.
it would be
He's been involved this whole time.
the whole time, dude. That would be
Oh
nuts.
man.
Yeah, I know. So who knows? Maybe it was, but it was 2 people. All right. Those are my thoughts on it,
Oh no,
Marcus.
it definitely is 2 people. I agree with you. There's no way, especially when we see the one get kicked downstairs and then Sydney starts hearing her mother's voice in the next room.
That exactly. That person's
Literally.
already laid down.
Yes, like there's no way that it wasn't more, or at least there's no way it wasn't just one person. There
Right.
was 2 people there for sure.
100%.
And we talked about it before. He definitely shot that film with 2 killers, and we only got 1 reveal.
Bingo. Just one reveal. Remember, Angelina was stabbed 1 time in the left shoulder, and that's it. And I think her body was staged on those steps specifically so that Gail and Parker Posey, who was playing, the movie,
Yep.
yeah, specifically so that they would see her body, lifeless body,
Right.
and then he drags the body away, which never seen that before. So
Nope.
I think that was on staged, and that stab wound, he had to stab her to make it look real, but he stabs her in the shoulder 1 time, and that's it. So
It's very true.
anyway, that's my Angelina rant. I'm
Oh, you're good.
definitely on the Angelina train.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you, buddy. I'm right there with you.
All right, I got about 5 more minutes, buddy. I'm gonna have to run.
Okay. So I'm going to go through some comments then, and then
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap up the Scream 3 Omnibus, when you head out and all that stuff. But, buddy, I
Okay.
greatly appreciate you coming on here for 2 hours, and at least we got through 2 of the 3 films, man. Like, It was definitely
Yeah,
a great conversation, and we got to talk some Scream 6 for a whole hour.
I know. We cheated and got with 6, but it was
Right.
so much fun. I mean, I'm thankful I was able to stay this long.
Yes,
For
I am too,
honestly,
buddy.
I really am. It's been such fun, and I hate that I'm going to miss Scream 3, but I uh I know it's the right thing to do. I need to for
Right.
sure.
You got to get some rest, buddy.
Yeah,
You've been putting in that work all day long.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty wiped, honestly. Now, starting to catch up with me at the
Oh,
and
yeah. Absolutely. And it is getting late, too. It's almost 1
true.
o'clock here on the East Coast.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like almost midnight here, so just that alone makes you tired.
Absolutely.
Um,
So Scott says, I got something to ask you, Craven. Ask you and tell you, Craven,
oh,
something
excuse
scary.
me.
I was watching this video of Matthew Lillard recently, and a fan asked him, and he claimed, I'm not in 6, but might be in 7.
Okay, Scott, do you have? Can you send me the link to the video? Sounds like it's one of those conventions, or let me know
Mm-hmm.
what convention it is. If you know the name of it, I can look it up myself. But if not, man, if you could send the link, that'd be amazing. I'd love to watch it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think he definitely is talking about one of the conventions because I heard that.
You heard it too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's amazing. Thank you, Thank you, Keely.
Oh, we love you too, Katie.
Oh
She says
yeah,
I
we love you,
love you
Katie.
all.
You're awesome, good friend.
Okay, so Scott says I have a very strong The Possible Scream 2. They say Matthew Lillard visited the set, but what if Stu in disguise was someone else with blonde hair? Do you think it's possible?
Well, I can speak to this just because um, Wes verified that it was nothing more than just
Yeah.
there was no script, there was no part of the script, it wasn't part of the story. He was happened to be on the set because he was dating Nev, and so he was there
Yes,
watching.
that's right.
He was hanging out,
Yeah.
them hanging, and I think he talked. He said, I think he asked, "Hey, can I jump in here or whatever?" So they made his hair blonde, like where, where he didn't look the same as the movie Scream One, and he has that one little scene when the camera rolls, you can see him back there.
Yep.
But Wes said there was nothing more to it. It was just Matthew Lillard doing a cameo on the set. Um, Now, having said that, if Radio Silence wants to call that out as evidence or something, they have the creative liberty to do it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I mean, Wes said no, that wasn't what it was, but now that it's in their hands, they could do a flashback of that scene.
They really could.
And it's possible, but I can tell you this: at the time it was made, there was no intention of that being Stu. At the
Yeah, I
time,
don't think so neither.
no,
I
because
mean,
according,
you could say the same thing. See, now it's funny that we're talking about this though, because even though I believe Charlie is alive, you can say the same thing for Rory Culkin if that is him in Scream 6 walking past him.
right,
You can make that same argument that maybe they just decided to pay homage to, Rory or even to Matthew because of that, scene in Scream 2, and they decided to go in that direction with Charlie.
yeah,
You can definitely say that. I'm glad
definitely.
I'm glad you brought that up, Steven, and stuff like that, and
Oh
Scott as
yeah,
well.
man. And Marcus, if you could email me that picture we showed earlier of with the comparison and all that, I would love it if you could send it to my email, either my
I
Instagram
got you.
or
Oh, I got
whatever.
you, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, I got you. You know, just real quick before I send it to you. There it is, right there.
Wow,
That
that's
boy right
crazy.
there. That's my boy, Steven. Like, you notice that's my boy right there. I love Charlie, man.
I
I
know you
got love
do.
for Charlie. Okay, real
Uh,
quickly, I'm I'm gonna turn my camera off. I'm still gonna be here. I'm just gonna
Oh yeah.
grab my plug real quick to plug the laptop in because this bad boy is telling me it's dying.
Oh. Okay.
So real quick, um, oh, what? Ghostface Fanatic says wasn't Stu also in Scream 4? Oh, what about that, Steven? I don't think so.
I heard that I've heard that rumor that he was in 4. I I I personally have never seen any footage of him for 4. So if anyone Ghostface Fanatic, if you or anyone else that's here in the audience, if you know more about that, and if you have the means to pull a clip or where I can find the clip of him, I would love that. I just heard that it was that he had a brief. I think it was at the barn where the Stabathon was going on.
Oh,
I think if I remember right, that's where he had a cameo in 4. He was part of the audience or something in there. I've never seen it though. I've never noticed him. So that's all. I don't know if you can.
I'm gonna have to look into that now.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a rumor for a long time that he was in 4, and I'm like at the Stabathon, but I've never, like I said, I've never seen him.
Yeah,
So
I didn't see him either. Huh? I don't see. It makes me want to go back watch 4 and snoop.
oh yeah, I mean maybe he's hiding somewhere in there. And you can like
Right.
just a quick shot of him as the camera pans or something.
Right.
I'm just ready
Well,
to have him back, Marcus.
I know. Me too, buddy. I'm right there with you.
Man,
Nanette's Necessities Witching Entertainment Hideout. Hello, everyone. What's going on, Nanette? I hope you're having a great
hey,
night.
yeah, ain't in that.
Olivia V says your Charlie Walker is alive theory is interesting. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think there's definitely you can make a case that Charlie is alive. I've did it I've talked about in videos how him getting stabbed in the heart, he could have survived that. And I even provided a real life case to where somebody got stabbed twice in the heart and was saved and lived with no complications. So
Yeah,
it can happen. Obviously, the shots and stuff that I showed you guys here on this stream and in my previous video as well, I think it's definitely possible. And if anything, I think he would be working with Stu. I think we could possibly get a cult of Ghostface killers that might consist of at least a couple of past killers that we thought were dead that was actually alive. And why I honestly think that Charlie would be a tremendous partner for Stu and a valuable asset is because if we really do believe Stu created that subreddit,
right.
Charlie would be perfect for that because
Mm-hmm.
Cinema Club, all that social media posting, he knows how to do that.
Yep.
This is another thing. Charlie and Stu, in so many kind of ways, they're kind of similar because remember, Jill, just like with Billy, Charlie was her out, just like Stu was Billy's out. They were both going to
Yeah.
turn on them, and even Sydney said this to Charlie when he got stabbed. You're right, Charlie. You're the new Stu. Trevor and you. He's Billy and you're Stu. Like
Hmm.
what I mean? There's some
Yeah.
similarities there, like between the
Yeah.
two. And not only that, they both of them are outshined by their partners. They
Mm-hmm.
both don't get the appreciation that they deserve.
That's very true. Yeah,
Like
they don't get the acknowledgement.
right.
That's right, man.
So like that I'm telling you, and I personally I would love for that to happen because like I said, I feel like those two would play off each other really, really well. And can you imagine how brutal that movie would be?
Oh my gosh,
Whew!
man! I'm telling you, it would be amazing. I'd be there. I'd be there.
I'll be there. Though I may stumble my way. Hey, we still got it, Steven. It's
We
still
got it,
there.
brother.
It's
Heck
still
yeah,
there.
yes, that's right.
Oh man.
Well, listen, man. I hate to bail on you, but
No, you're
I'm
good,
gonna
buddy.
go ahead and run.
You
Hey,
gotta
we
get some
almost two and a
rest.
half hours, bro.
Yes, I know. And you've
That's
been a
good.
busy man all day.
I
I got to check
have.
out your videos when I'm done with this stream.
Oh, thank you. I would love your
Absolutely.
opinion.
Oh
Yeah, I'd love your
yes, I
opinion.
can't wait to see what you have to say, especially with the one about the opening scene.
Oh, yeah. Potential people that could be in the opening kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that one. I give my top 4 people that I'd like to see. So
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna
yeah,
be fun. I can't
it's
wait to watch
fun.
that, my friend. But buddy, you get some rest. I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, but if you have some time tomorrow and even would like to come in for like even a half hour, an hour, you
Okay.
can join the 4 through 6 omnibus as well. We
Ah.
we can't have a Scream omnibus without the Godfather of Woodsboro.
I got at least have a cameo, right?
That's right. Let's go. That's so right.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'll definitely will if I'm available, and I may pop in for a little
All
bit.
right.
Scream 4 is my favorite. I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but you guys know that anyway. I talk about it all the time.
He's not like the
It's not
cat.
really a secret. Uh, it's it's my number 2 favorite Scream film. It's 1 and 4. That's my top 2, which is kind of bookends anyway, which is
Yeah,
interesting. But
it really
anyway,
is.
I would love to be there for some Scream 4 talk.
All right, my friend.
Yeah,
Well, I will
buddy.
make sure that I will send you this photo of possibly Charlie, and I will send you the link for tomorrow's stream as well.
Wonderful, man.
All
Well,
right, my friend.
I appreciate it. I want to say bye to everyone in the chat.
Yes, sir.
I see your comments. Thank you guys. I'll thank you for the good wishes and the prayers. And you're awesome, everyone. Thank you all for your support. It means a lot. Um, Same here. It was amazing for me too. And thanks for your prayers, Val. I really appreciate that. And for everyone's prayers and thoughts. And I will see you, everybody in the chat, I'm sure soon. I'm sure I'll be doing a stream soon. Marcus, I want us to get together again soon. I'll have you on my channel,
Yes, sir.
and we can talk Scream 6 and theories, and do what we do.
That's right.
That's what we
That's right,
do.
buddy.
So I'll reach out to you. We can chat offline and figure it
Absolutely.
out. We'll figure it out. But it's coming up very soon. I'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Sounds good to me, my friend.
All right. Well, guys, I'll leave you. And thank you, Blucka. I appreciate it, buddy. I will leave you in the hands of the man of the not man of the hour, the man of the 1,000 subs.
I like that.
And
Oh man,
so
I
you guys,
greatly appreciate the love and support, my friend. Get some rest, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
yeah, we'll talk tomorrow. I'll touch base with you and go for there. And everyone else, y'all take care. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the stream. All I gotta say about Scream 3 is hashtag Angelina was the killer, second killer, and there it is. So that I'll leave it there and have fun talking about that third movie, buddy.
I will, buddy. I will talk
All
to you
right,
later.
sounds good. Good night.
Good night, pal. Love Craven. How can you not? Gotta love Steven, guys. Like I'm so happy that I was able to have him here on the stream with me tonight. Because again, it's been a while since me and him really got to talk, going through some circumstances and stuff, but that's brother right there. That's family. You know what I mean? So, as if I can get him here on the channel, not only that, keep him in high spirits, you know what I mean, and talk to him behind the scenes and all that stuff. Like, I'm always grateful to talk to Steven. Like, I got a lot of love for that guy. You know what I mean? As you guys could tell at the beginning of the stream when, he was talking to me about, the 1,000 subs and my growth and this channel's growth and all that. Like, his words mean so much to me. Like, they really do. So that's why earlier, I cracked and, some tears were flowing and all that stuff. And I'm not apologizing for it. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, Steven, he's such an inspiration to me and to so many other people, and it's just I love knowing him. I love the fact that I've gotten to know him over the past year and a half. Like, he's an amazing human being. And I'm just grateful to have him in my life. And it's truly an honor, as my good friend Charlie Walker would say. It's really an honor. Spicy General says, Marcus, I haven't seen you smile and laugh as much as you did tonight in a while. I know it's just, again, it's something, I think it's also because, with circumstances going on with Steven, it's just good to be in his graces and good to have him around and have his insight and to have his conversation and stuff like that. Like, it's ain't a knock on anybody else that I, have here on the panel or, do content with. It's just not a knock on them at all. So I don't want you, if you are watching the stream, I don't want you to feel some type of way. You know what I mean? But it's been a while since me and Steven got to really talk and hang out and, talk some Scream 6 or talk about anything really and stuff. And the fact that, he got to come on here tonight, especially now when, I'm over 1,000 subs and all that. I'm glad he's getting to see that because, again, he's the reason why this channel exists. He's the reason why I exist as a content creator. He showed me the way, you know what I mean? And I just followed, in all honesty. Like, you know what I mean? I followed his lead, so like whenever I can get together with Steven, and I'm not going to lie, it's something a little bit special to it. It's something extra to it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Val, I got mad love for the guy. Like, yeah, and we have some good conversations and we have a great time. We know how to have, fun and have a good sense of humor. Also, without, the bad dialogue. I think this is also the least amount of time you guys have heard me swear on a live stream as well. Why? Because I got that respect for Steven. I know he doesn't like swearing and all that stuff. You know what I mean? All that much and all. So that's why I try to have that respect for him and all that. Even though this is my channel, I have that respect. If you're not comfortable, with that type of dialogue, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So, which is why, this is probably the least you've ever heard me cuss on a live stream, in my whole existence of doing live streams or YouTube in general. So, but yeah, it's I got mad love for the guy, So that's family right there. So it's just great, being able to do content with him and but as he says, go through life together. That's the biggest thing. Through the highs, through the mediums, through the lows. You know what I mean? So just a journey, and sharing our life's journey together. It's awesome. It really is. And being able to share it with you guys as well. Bucket says, Mark, you trying to take those tears back from us? Absolutely not, buddy. Absolutely not. Again, I have no regrets. I knew when Steve, I'm not gonna lie to you, when Steven was getting into it, I felt it in my stomach. I was gonna cry. I knew it. I felt it in my stomach. I'm not gonna lie. You just know when it's gonna come down. The tears are gonna come. I did initially try to hold it in, but I couldn't. I cracked. You guys saw it. I cracked. I cracked like an egg, real quick. But hey, again, that just comes to show how much his words mean to me, and everything else. It just it's amazing, to have people who believe in you and who see things in you that even sometimes you might not even see in yourself. It's really good to be in that type of company. I feel like a lot of us need a lot more company like that. There's too much negativity, too many people trying to bring you down when there should be no reason to bring you down. We all as people should be trying to lift each other up. So that's why I got so much love for that guy, because he does that, in my opinion, better than anybody here in the community. No offense to anybody, but he does that better than anybody. He lifts your spirits up. He lifts you up as a person. And, it's our job, especially given the circumstances, to lift him up. He needs us, needs our love and support, through this, whole situation and circumstance that he's going through. And, I'm here for him, just like I know you guys are. So we have a really good, tight-knit community here. I will say that, and I love it. I love this. Kelly Williams says, my phone is dying. Got to get a charger. At least Ghostface won't be able to call. Right? That is true. Well, hopefully you don't have a phone line on your laptop then, Kelly, because then you might be in some trouble. Katie says, it's good to see you happy, my dear friend. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you so much. Hey, my man Dino. You know what? Dino, I know you wanted to be a part of this omnibus. So we did already get, me and Steven went through Scream 1 and Scream 2. Would you still like to come on from Scream 3? Leave a chat and let me know, my friend. If so, I will grab my phone and I'll send you the link. But real quick, guys, give me a couple minutes. I got to go hit the bathroom. I got to go. I ain't even going to lie. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That's so true, Val. He is. Craven is a very special soul for sure. I mean, hell, I can guarantee you guys can hear it in my voice, especially when I was like just going on my spew about it. My voice was cracking. Like sometimes words cannot describe, how much somebody like that means to you. Honestly, words are really, hard to come by, and I'll try my best to put them together. But that's my buddy right there. That's my bro. Honestly, I got mad love and respect for that guy. That's right. That's right, Blucka. It was a good moment. Wear it like a badge of honor. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Katie. We love Marcus. Hey, I love you guys too, honestly. You guys are amazing. It's 1:16 a.m. here in the East Coast, and we got 9 people. I know we've had some people running in and out, but we've got 9 people still watching the stream. You guys are amazing. I know some of you got to be to work and all that stuff, and you guys are still kicking it. That's right. Val says, absolutely, Marcus needs our love and support right now. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ghostface Fanatic says, Craven is a great person. He's an inspiration to me. He's the reason I started my channel. See, right there. Absolutely. That's right, Ghostface. That's right, because about to say, Ghostface, I think we started both our channels around the same time. Something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Bluckus says, good to see you gave Craven his roses and let him know your appreciation. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, he showed me the way. You know what I mean? Like I was clueless to a horror movie community here on YouTube. I was clueless to that. All I ever thought YouTube was really about was funny clips, like regular like movies and stuff like that, like regular movie reviews, like action or something, sports, all that stuff, like especially sports. Like sports dominates YouTube. I never really knew that there was a platform for us, horror lovers on here. I really didn't until I saw Steven's video. And when I saw his video, it just took off from there, and then from hanging out in the live chats. And then, like I said, him, giving me a shout out when I didn't expect it. And then inviting me to live streams and having these conversations and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy. Just a little bit over a year. Like, it's just crazy. Oh well, Nanette, that's not good. That's not fun. That's not cool. Nanette says, speaking of people bringing you down, that's why I'm not feeling good, Marcus. Well, listen, Nanette, the best piece of advice that I can give you, is when somebody's trying to bring you down, you do one or two things. You turn to your friends to help lift you up, and two, you find something that you love to do to take your mind off of that negativity. That's the biggest thing in my opinion. Is you find something you love to do, even if it's just for 5-10 minutes. Find something that you love to do that's going to take you off that negativity for the remainder of the night, day, what have you. You know what I mean? Always try to look for positive things. I know it's difficult. Trust me, I get it. You know what I mean? I've dealt with my fair share of people putting me down and me feeling like crap too. But how I was able to come out of that and not really care about that type of stuff. Like if somebody tries to put me down now, okay, that's your opinion and your perception of who I am. I know who I am. I'm comfortable in my skin. You know what I mean? I know what I represent. So you can say whatever you want. You know what I mean? I know in my heart I'm a good person. I know that I'm not a negative person. So I get it though. Nanette. All right, let me zoom down here because I do want to see if Dino. All right, yeah, Dino did say he wants to come on. All right, cool. So I'm about to send you a link, Dino, and we about to get you up in here, bro. Yeah, that is true. I believe you. Marcus, Bob, all started around the same time. Yeah, right around the same time. Yep. Mayanne says, hold on, I'm waiting for it to pull up. Mayanne says, same here. I walked the horror streets of this tomb alone until I found you guys. Best thing ever. Oh, that's awesome. That's what's up. That is so great. It's amazing. Like it really is. Like I love what I do. Like I love being able to talk horror movies with y'all. Like I really do. Like I'm sure you guys can see it in my face and my enthusiasm. Like I genuinely love this. Like this is passion for me. That's why when Steven was going on saying what he was saying about the work I'm putting in, uploading at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, like pointing stuff like that out. Like that's all. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I cracked the way I did because, you know, when people see that, that the hard work that you're putting in, that means just so much. Like you know what I mean? Like it's because this really is passion for me. It really is. This is passion. I love talking horror movies. I love talking with you guys about it. Okay, so let me get my man Dino the link here. And then we're going to bring Dino up here in the chat, in the panel. And then we're going to get to talking about some Scream 3 and finish off the Scream 3 Omnibus. Okay, so... Okay. Awkward silence real quick. Sorry, trying to send this message out to Dino. Forward. Oh, well. Okay, I'm just going to copy it and then, yeah, there we go. Because for some reason, that's why. Got it. Dino uses his real name on Instagram. All right. All right. Yep. He just seen it. So he should be coming in any minute. This is going to be fun. It's been a while since I got to have my buddy Dino on here, too. It's been a little bit. I think it's been like since last year sometime when I was doing a little bit of wrestling content on here and stuff like that, and Dino came on, and then obviously I stopped doing wrestling content because that's something obviously Steven put me on to as well, is that, if you try to mix, different genres of content, it can mess up the algorithm and all that stuff. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I stopped doing wrestling content. But without wasting any more time, let's bring my buddy in here, talk some Scream 3. What's up, Dino? What's up, man? Whoa, man, look at that background, bro. Hell,
Yeah.
shit, your background looks better than mine.
Nah.
Like,
Don't
shit.
say that, my man. Don't say that.
Yeah, for real, man. I like that background.
Yeah, it's something the StreamYard thing had. It's like a not like a default, but like you can just add like a picture. I just put stream backgrounds, boom, whatever.
See, I've been wanting to put mine up. I'll be wanting to put mine up or whatever and stuff, but I'll be afraid to because every time I try to, it's like it's like so strong it makes the connection lag. I don't know.
Got you.
You know what?
I mean, I'm new. I'm more new at this than you, so I don't know. It's just
yeah, man. Like I don't know what it be sometimes, man. I'll have to figure it out. Maybe it was more of my location than anything. You know what I mean? Because one thing I will say, now that I am like streaming closer to my internet box, my streaming is a lot better. You know
got you.
I mean?
Okay.
Even if I had like the Ethernet cable hooked up to it, I was out in like another area, not close to it. So that's why it would lag a lot. I feel like now that I'm like directly like right here, I feel like it's like, okay, it's pretty good. And plus, not only that, I keep, I from now on, this is what I do, especially like when I'm doing videos and all that stuff. When I download pictures and all that, immediately when I'm done doing the video, I clean out my entire documents file, because when you have so many like pictures and all that stuff from like when you're doing content, that can make your stream lag as well.
Yeah. But you say you connected to the Ethernet port directly, right?
Yep.
Oh, so I don't know, man. Usually that fixes it usually.
Well, see, that's what I was saying. The original Ethernet port I had was like a really long one, to where you can, like, let's say if I was in the living room, you can take it out to the kitchen.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think that was the issue, because it wasn't directly closer to the box or whatever and stuff.
Okay.
Ever since I moved directly closer to the box, as well as clean out my computer and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Voila. It's beautiful. No lag.
Yeah. No, I've been in the streams every time, man, and it's definitely been getting better, bro.
Hell yeah, man! Like, and I'm so happy for that. Like, you know what I mean? Because that was the biggest reason why I didn't live stream for a little bit, is because I kept going through issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now, when I went back and checked it out, I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Now I know what the problem is. Got that.
Yeah. Bro, Mark, I busted my ass to get here, bro. I was like, I gotta get home.
Hey, buddy. Hey, it's funny because I actually did like push back the stream till 10:30.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna be on for a little bit anyway, so I'm pretty sure Dina will be able to make it. And so it's a good thing, my friend.
Bro, I was like, I gotta go home. I told my boss, I was like, listen, I don't think you understand my situation. I gotta go stream when I shot him 6 times. I'm leaving. I'm at it.
Yo, I really wish you would have got that like video recorded, especially when I don't think you understand my situation.
Yeah. Just give him the serious face. I don't think you understand.
Right. Real quick, what's going on, Greg Muniz?
Hey,
Thank you for stopping in, especially at this late hour.
Mm-hmm.
Greg says Scream 6 was fire. I mean, I liked it. I think it's a really good movie. I do. Mm-hmm. It has its flaws. Not perfect, but it's still a really good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yep, I liked it. I loved it.
Greg says, where do you guys think Scream 7 will take place? Well, before we answer that real quick, Mayan says, Dino, don't get fired 6 times.
No, that ain't happening. That ain't happening.
But okay, so before we delve into the Scream 3 part of the Omnibus, we can answer this question. Greg says, where do you guys think Scream 7 will take place? Dino, I'll start with you. Where do you think Scream 7 will take place, buddy?
I mean, I've been hearing a whole bunch of different theories, like, because like I forget if it was you or because I mean I watch all you guys, man. I watch you, Craven. I watch Destination Station. So I'm just I never really remember where I get the information from because I just watch everything. Yeah, so I just feel what you guys say sometimes, but like I mean, some people, like they said there was like an interview. I think it was you. There was like an interview with Jenna Ortega that she said that she that might be in London. It might
that was
be in
Craven. Craven dropped that video.
Okay. All right. Okay. See, yeah. So yeah, it might be in London. It might be in snow, like a snow resort, which is pretty cool because the snow contrasts with the black coat and everything, and then plus blood on the snow. I like that. And also, I mean, there's also a theory. I dropped it on a Craven's video, but the thing is, it only works if they go back to Woodsboro, because I think if they go back to Woodsboro, I'm thinking the opening kill is going to be Martha Meeks. Yeah, and the reason why I say that is because if she gets killed, that brings back the core 4, and it brings back Sydney and Gale. So because everyone knows her.
Good point. That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
that's
anywhere.
Really
I'll even take a resort in where was it? Like in part 2 of I Know You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, base of Bahamas.
Yeah. I'll even take that, man. I mean, hey, have you seen the Scream TV series?
Yeah, of course.
So remember the last episode of season 2?
Yep.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't end it on a cliffhanger and never finish it.
Oh my God. And and what gets me upset, what gets me the most upset about that is that it was good. The show was good.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We don't even talk about the other season.
It wasn't that 3 was entirely bad. I mean, they did get Rodriel back. They did get the mask and the costume back. It didn't need to go in that direction because we still had another story to finish telling.
Exactly.
So that's where I was at with it, with the Scream franchise. I mean, with the Scream TV series, what I mean, and stuff. But for me, Greg, to answer your question, I think Scream 7 will either take place in 3 places. It's going to go back to Woodsboro.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go to Chicago, where Sydney is, or London.
Yeah.
Because what's her name? Jenna Ortega even said that too about London and all that stuff. And the reason why I say London is because in Scream 5, we know that's where Christina Carpenter was.
Exactly.
And I'm not trying to sound disrespectful to nobody. I don't care what Radio Silence or what people say about, Radio Silence basically made it clear that Christina Carpenter doesn't matter. The hell she doesn't. She does matter. She matters.
I think so.
She definitely matters. This is all happening much like with Maureen Prescott because of her. You know what I mean? Because of her secrets and the fact that she and Billy had a thing. So, yes, I would love to see them bring in that character. And I think it would be interesting if they did go, somewhere else, outside of the U.S. I think London would definitely be interesting,
Yeah.
I feel like what they should do is go somewhere, and you brought it up, a few minutes ago, honestly. If you're going to take them somewhere, just make sure it all connects to where it doesn't seem like they're being forced in, the characters,
Yeah.
Bring them to a place where we know for a fact they all have to be together. Or at least they're all going to have to meet each other. So that's where I'm at with it. We'll see. I mean, I'm surprised Scream 7 hasn't been greenlit yet. But one thing I will point out, before we do the Scream 3 Omnibus, is that, in my opinion, I think Jenna's comments all but confirm that she's going to be in Scream 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a plus. Because we all have had our speculation that there's a possibility she might not be, because she's she's blown up now. So it's a good thing that she had that interview, because it all but confirms she will be back. Hopefully by the time they start filming, it's not when she's doing Beetlejuice or something else. Because you got to have Jenna come back.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, I want to say what's up to Two Boys and Their Scary Pops, and they have a question. What's up, Two Boys? How you doing tonight? Thank you for stopping in. Two Boys says, would you want the opening kill an actor like Zendaya? Not really. Just real quick. I hate to sound so dismissive so quickly, Two Boys, but Zendaya, like I can't see Zendaya even signing on for a Scream franchise. I mean, I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think it would be better if you got what is her name? Zendaya's old partner, Bella Thorne.
Okay.
Bella Thorne.
Yeah.
She's in the Scream TV series in season 1.
Yeah.
She was the opening kill. So I think that would make a lot more sense than Zendaya. And Mia Goth, I wouldn't be against that. I like Mia Goth.
Mm-hmm.
But would you want opening kill an actor like Zendaya, Mia Goth, or someone like Gale? Well, I really thought Gale was going to die in Scream 6. Obviously, it did not turn out that way. And I'm actually kind of glad it didn't, because especially if we are going to get Stu Macher back, it would make sense that Gale would still be alive for that too. Because much like Sydney, she has a big part in the final act scene of 96. Much like Samantha and Tara, Gale can be considered a second final girl to Sidney Prescott as well. So I think that was actually a good idea for them to keep Gale, and especially if we're going to get Stu back, keep Gale throughout 7 and then maybe kill her at the end or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. So, yeah, what do you feel about that, Dino? What are your thoughts on that?
On if they should put an actor like Zendaya or whatever as the opening kill?
Yeah, like would you be cool with Zendaya, Mia Goth, or someone like Gale?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Zendaya, I don't know. I don't see it. But Zendaya, I don't see it. I guess, yeah, because she's popular now, but I don't know. I don't know if she was, like you said, I don't know if she's going to sign on for it. Mia Goth, yeah, I could see. And also the Bella Thorne thing, it's pretty good because, we saw it in the Scream TV series.
Yeah.
It was good.
That would be a nice tip of the hat to that.
Yeah. But I mean, but I wonder if they're gonna. I mean, if they're doing that thing where they're mirroring all the movies, like this one's mirrored Scream 2, and this one's gonna mirror Scream 3. I wonder if it's gonna be someone that's been in the movies that we kind of, like Cotton. So that's what brings back my Martha Meeks thing. But I'm not trying to push it, but I'm just saying.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point because, I mean, they've proved to us that they are going to mirror the original 3 films. So
yeah,
it's only right to think that they're going to mirror Scream 3 as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started on the Scream 3 part of this omnibus, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
So I will ask you, Dino. I mean, because we all know it's well documented, especially after the first 2 films, that Scream 3 is arguably the least liked film in the entire franchise.
Yeah.
And me personally, I still like it a lot.
I don't get the hate, bro. I just don't.
So
I don't get it.
I'll put it this way. What are your highs of Scream 3? Like, what is the things you love most about what they did with Scream 3? And if there are any lows, tell us about the lows as well.
So on a high, I would say I like Roman. I like Roman as a Ghostface. Like I thought he was good. People don't like him. People think he's whiny because in the end he's like, damn it, fucking damn it, all that stuff. But I think he was a good Ghostface. Another high moment. I mean, I like the story. I mean, because it was kind of like the concluding chapter in Sydney's story. Because for me, Sydney's story is 1, 2, and 3. That's it. That for me. That's Sydney's story. Like the end when Roman died, that was it. 4, of course, added all this stuff, and yeah, I don't mind it either because I like Scream. But for me, 1, 2, and 3, Sydney's story, and I liked it. I would say low though, probably that Sydney never talked or met Roman before the reveal.
Right.
Because it's funny because when the part where where Sydney stabs Roman in the heart,
yeah,
and then Dewey and Gail break in the room, and she's like, Roman? It was Roman? I'm always thinking like Sydney's like, who the hell is Roman? Like who is this guy?
Right.
Like there's not like one scene where it's like they at least talked or met. I feel like I really would have liked to have seen Roman's reaction, or if we would have got like anything in his face that we would have noticed, as because we watch it closely and we watch their faces and facial expressions, body language, and stuff like that. So I really would have liked to have seen something with that. So I mean, I like Scream 3. I know a lot of people probably have more lows, but I just like it, so I don't really have too many lows on it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can get why people had their lows about it, because it is by far the most goofiest of the franchise.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good goofy. I like the goofiness. Like,
yeah.
Did they take it on a little bit more than the previous 2 films? Yes, but I feel like given the characters that we had, it was necessary. People, I think, tend to forget this part, is that in Scream 3, we had to deal with more of the stab characters even more so than we ever did before.
Yeah, that's true.
We had Angelina, who was supposed to be in Stab 3. We had Jennifer Jolie, who was in the previous Stab films. Now she's returning. You know what I mean? Like, we were dealing with some kind of like bootleg characters, which is why it was needed to be quirky. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I should say it like this: we had the B version of Gale Weathers. Well, you would have to expect her to play like the B level version. What is the biggest knack for B horror movies? Right? Is they're too campy. Well, you got to kind of have that, especially if you're putting it in one movie with your non-campy and with your original character that you created for this character to mimic. Which is why I love Jennifer Jolie, Parker Posey in Scream 3.
Yes.
I feel like in so many ways in this movie, her and Courtney stole the show.
Yeah. Yeah, she has so much memorable lines.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the back and forth. I always said this, growing up after rewatching the film so many times, I'm like, man, I really wish they would have did like not even a spinoff. Them two together should have did a film together, like a comedy.
Yeah,
so good together.
The back and forth, the chemistry was there.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. I think another thing what I liked about this film too is what Greg here says. Scream 3 was a cool detective story. The whole Marine being a part of Hollywood thing. Yeah, I agree. I like the fact that we uncovered this story about Marine that we had no clue about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? About that she was an actress for 2 years in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And why I love that because when you go back and rewatch Scream 2, like I said a few moments ago when I was talking to Steven, Sydney didn't even know that about her mom. Yet she was following in her mother's footsteps.
Yeah.
Which kind of, brings you back to that hallucination scene where Sydney has a Marine and she says, "You're just like me." You know what I mean? Like, I like that. Like, I like that there's, you can unpeel so many layers with that. And I love the fact that Roman was dropping off all these little clues into Marine's past at each crime scene. Something that obviously Scream 6 took a page out of.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking,
I enjoyed. I thought that was a nice tip of the hat. You know what I mean? To Scream 3 and stuff like that to show that film some love. Because I enjoyed seeing that in Scream 3 because it kept you wondering, like, who the hell is this that knows about Sydney's mother's past like this? Exactly. Is this a previous lover? Is it Sydney's own father for all we know? Like there was so many directions, in my opinion, mentally that you could have thought of who could have been underneath that Ghostface mask in Scream 3. You know, I personally did not think of, you know, her having a sibling.
Yeah.
You know, I thought maybe it was somebody that else that her mom was involved with that might have some more greater significance to the past than we thought.
Yeah.
And then obviously we get to reveal that Roman is the left out son. And that's another thing. I love Scott Foley in this film.
Yeah.
I thought he was amazing as Roman Bridger. Not just talking about the Ghostface, as Roman Bridger. He was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Like
I said
when the fucking the trophy the trophies broke. And he's like, what did he say to Dewey and him? He's like, I'm 20, he's like, I'm 29, or about to be, he's like, I'm about to be 30, and it seems I'm the killer's next target. And they're like, you? Why you? And he picks up the trophy with the cut off head, and he's like, you don't think this was a message? Like, yo.
Hey, you saying that thing about Roman being the like the left out child is, it made me think. So we say that Tara and Sam's mom is not that good because she deserted him. Does the fact that Maureen kind of deserted Roman, does that kind of make her like a horrible person too? Like do you think that about her? Like,
see, I think what Maureen's circumstance is different. You know what I mean? And the reason why is because obviously she was, I mean, she was taken advantage of.
oh yeah,
Let's just put it in that regard, you know,
there you go.
without having to say that R word.
Okay.
She was taken advantage of by multiple men.
Yeah,
That's a difference just between, just up and having a kid to somebody, and then you're just like, oh, I'm going to abandon them, much like Mrs. Loomis. Like, I get, Mrs. Loomis was upset because her husband cheated on her.
Yeah.
That still gave her no reason to walk out on her own son.
Walk out on, yeah, exactly.
Now,
yeah.
I get it. Some people will sit there and say that's kind of hypocritical, especially for Maureen Prescott. I say, look at the circumstance.
Yeah.
Put yourself in her position.
No, yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's double edged. Do I feel like she could have taken care of Roman? I don't think if she did, she would have gotten over the trauma that she got over.
Yeah,
and
okay,
in so many ways, she never really did. You got to think the reason why she was the way she was, and even Roman said this to Sydney in the final act, is because of what they did to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
They showed her that was acceptable. So man, right. Like
that's true. Yeah.
That's a good question though, Dino. Like for real, honestly.
Yeah, it just popped into my head when we were talking about. I'm like, I mean, because I remember, like, I think I remember a stream you were saying when you were saying like that you were like, Christine, like you were like, Sam's mom is like a real piece of shit. Like you were snapping. So I was like, it just hit my head. I'm like, well, so could we say the same thing about Sydney's mom? But then you bring up about what happened to her. So it's different.
It's a different circumstance. It's
different. I would say so. I would say Sam and Tara's mom is more like Billy's mom.
Yeah, just
like
even
that.
Worse. She's even worse if you think about it, because at least Mrs. Loomis tried to come after Sydney and get vengeance for Billy.
Yeah. She's just like, I don't care.
Stu or whoever attacked Tara in the opening scene, because it damn sure wasn't Amber.
Yeah.
It wasn't Richie. Whoever attacked Tara in the opening scene, and then obviously, the aftermath of all that, where's Christina at?
Bro. She
is nowhere to be found to protect.
She's looking mighty sus, man. Mighty suspect.
Mightily sus. I mean, listen, man. Listen. Could be wrong, but I think there's a possibility this chick could actually be Angelina, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's a reason, and we say this, all the time, with certain things. There's a reason why they write certain things the way they do. There's a reason they haven't showed us Christina Carpenter's face yet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't see
yeah,
it in
you're
pictures.
right.
You don't see it in pictures in Scream 5. And trust me, bro, this is about a week ago. I did this on purpose just to see if I could find any pictures of Christina or what this person might look like. There is
Yeah.
nothing in Scream 5 in Terror Scene. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing at all. They did a good job of, making sure we didn't catch those Easter eggs.
Yeah. Nah, nothing, man. You're right. There's nothing. But I do want to see her though. I hope she's in 7. I do want to
I
see.
hope so too. I think
I want to see Christina, and I want to see their dad. I want to see like they're the one that left.
Mr.
I want to see
Coffee
everybody,
Bud.
everyone that's been mentioned. I want to see. I just want to put like a face behind it. You know.
I think the biggest thing I do want to see though too is who is Richie's mother.
Yeah.
Who's Richie's mom?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why they kept that scene. They didn't put that scene in Scream 6 of Ethan and Detective Bailey killing her. They kept her alive for a reason. They spared her for a reason, especially when you take into account that the names are fake, that Bailey and Kirsch don't exist. So it's gonna be interesting, man. But yeah, back to Roman and stuff. I thought he was also a great Ghostface killer. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. People say, "Oh, he was, whiny, and stuff." Guys, the way I see it, put yourself in that guy's position. Take a step back for a second, and let's not look at him for Ghostface. Let's look at him as Marine's abandoned son, who has basically all his life been basically living a lie until he finds out, who his real mom is. And then when you go to meet this woman, like he said, he thought she was going to welcome him with open arms, and she shuts the door in his face.
Yeah.
And not only that, she's claiming her other child that she has. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Because you got to think too, in that moment, he's still thinking like a child. He's still thinking as if he's a child.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I good enough, but Sydney was?
Yeah. But
I don't ever harp on the fact that he was kind of whiny a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
But I felt that. You know what I mean? I felt that coming from him. Like, damn, he has every right to react the way he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's been shunned his whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think Sydney though has a point though. Doesn't she say like you kill because you want to? Like you didn't have to do. Yeah.
You do too.
I mean, it's true. Cause think about it, like if that would have happened to me, I'd be upset, but I don't think I'd go on a killing spree. Like I'd just be like, okay, I guess I'm on my own.
Some people handle it different, though, buddy.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I think it's just he had that in him already, and this situation is what brought it out.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a great thing you pointed out about Sydney. In that dialogue, her saying, you know why you kill people, Roman, do you? It's because you choose to. There is no one else to blame. In so many ways, that is true. Because Roman had a choice. Okay, my mom doesn't want to be involved with me. I'm upset, but I can move on from this and know that at least she still exists and I can go do something else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Or I can make a choice that, you know what, I'm going to fucking watch her and I'm going to end up getting her killed.
Yep, and he
made that choice.
We saw what choice he made.
Exactly, he made that choice. So Sydney was right in that moment for sure.
Yeah.
I would say another thing that I liked about Scream 3, though, too, was the whole Hollywood aspect of it.
Okay.
And this is why I say that, because a lot of people say, Scream 3 is, it's too hokey, it's too pokey, it's too goofy.
I don't
see. It's too make-believey, right?
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, people say it reminds them of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, what is make-believe? Hollywood is make-believe.
Yeah.
So if you really put it in that context, it actually makes Scream 3 that much better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's staying true to the Hollywood feel.
Exactly.
This is all make-believe. You know, like this is all hokey. This is all hokey pokey stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I personally like. I'm not gonna lie. Even more, the more you talk about Scream 3, at least in my opinion, I feel like you gain more of an appreciation and respect for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like because Scream 3, like it's another thing too, man. The opening scene,
Yeah.
killing off a main character from the previous film.
Yeah.
In the opening scene, though.
Yeah.
You talk about some fucking balls.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yo, let me ask, did you expect that? Did you expect it to be Cotton?
I mean, I did when I saw the movie and I'm like, get out of here.
Right.
Like, but you know, like I wasn't like going in like, oh, I bet it's gonna be like Cotton or something. Like, no, I thought it was gonna be like random number 1, random number 2, getting sliced up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember when he gets that phone call and it's that girl, and I'm you know, I'm at this point, like, and I'm really old enough to like understand this stuff. Even I'm about to be a teenager,
Yeah.
so I'm watching it and I'm just like, okay. I'm like, usually the opening scene starts off at, you know, a house or, you know, or two, we got in the movie theater. So we get it in the car. Okay. Is Cotton opening scene or what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And then I see him, you know, I see him on the phone. I hear him on the phone and he's talking to somebody. And I'm like, okay, well, he's not talking to Ghostface at this moment. So where are we going with this? And then he gets the call from the girl. And I'm like, what are we doing? And then click, I know you have a girlfriend. I'm right outside her bathroom door. And it's just like, oh, this shit just got real. Cotton's going to be opening scene.
Yeah.
I really did not expect that at all. And I'm not going to lie, if there's one of the lows that I have of this movie, it is that. I hate it, and I still to this day hate seeing Cotton Weary get killed off in Scream 3. Absolutely despise it.
I get it.
Absolutely despise it. Like, this was, to me, at least supposed to be the movie Cotton would have got more run.
Yeah.
And you completely ripped it away from. How you gonna give my man his own show?
Make
him a star in Hollywood.
100% Cotton.
Like he said in the car, why can't they land me a fucking decent part? And you know what I mean? I lived through the fucking thing.
Bro, I get it. I get why you would be upset because Cotton was such a good character too.
Right.
It's not like he was like, oh, whatever. He was just a background character anyways. Like, no, he was like, in 2, he was so good. And it's like, okay, now we can expand on Cotton, whatever. And then he just gets killed off in the beginning. So I can understand why you got mad, whatever. I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. I was like, he was a cool dude, whatever. But, you know, it happened.
Right, absolutely. Well, I think the thing is, too, is why, you know, a lot of people, well, for me, when people say he's a background character, no, he's not. He is an essential part of the story. He's an essential piece of this entire puzzle because without Cotton having an affair with Maureen, Billy doesn't have nobody to frame.
Exactly.
You know, so like Cotton, you know, seeing him die, like, oh man, that it gets me percolating right now. Like I'm getting mad to say that.
Yeah,
but like just because, you know, you got to see this guy, who was wrongly accused, wrongly incarcerated.
Yeah.
Scream 2, he gets out, he gets his flowers. You want to see this guy live at least through half of the movie before you kill him off, in my opinion. So you can see him let him enjoy the fruits of his labor.
Exactly. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like that was one of my biggest lows of this movie was the fact that they killed off Cotton too soon, in my opinion. Way too soon.
You're right. No, you're right. Because in the end of 2, he makes up with Sid. He saves Sid. And then he finally got his life around. He has his own show. He has all this good stuff happening. And then what happens? He just gets killed off. We don't get to see anything.
Right, man.
I get it. No, you're right. You get now I'm getting up. You're making me mad now. Right? Right now I'm getting mad.
Right, exactly, man. Like it's just, like it sucks. It does suck, and it's underwhelming, And now we're talking about it, that they went back to back with doing that, killing two characters, beloved characters, that we didn't expect they were going to kill, Randy and Cotton.
Yeah.
But again, that speaks to the massive balls that Wes Craven had, because he was willing to take those risks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have to respect him for that.
Yeah. Hey, it's Wes Craven, man. If he made the decision, if it was his decision, listen, I may not like it, but it's Wes Craven, man.
Right, exactly. It's Wes Craven. Like, he knows
bro?
I always say this about guys like John Carpenter, Wes Craven, James Wan, those type of guys.
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree with everything that they have done in that moment, when you really break it down, you understand the genius behind it.
Yep.
So
exactly. Yep.
Plunkett says the craziest thing about Scream 3 to me is how every female character is named after a victim that would come out against Harvey Weinstein. As well as having Carrie Fisher warn girls. See, I honestly didn't know about that part, about every female that is named after a victim that will come out against Harvey Weinstein. I didn't know that. I assumed that the whole Milton character, and everything was definitely about Weinstein. That.
That's that, bro. He definitely.
But wow, good stuff, Pluck. I never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either.
Wow. So, well, I'll ask you this, Dino. We already kind of thought this with the whole Milton character. Does this solidify for you that subliminally through Scream 3, Wes Craven was exposing the Weinsteins for their dealings?
Oh yeah, bro. There's so many clues that he's just throwing out there. And the thing is, he knew that he could do this. He's like, if anyone can throw that out there and not get in trouble or blacklisted, it's me. So
that is true.
Like, I think that's why he did it. I'm like, there's just too many. There's too many clues. Like, Milton is definitely like this dude, like Weinstein.
Yeah,
definitely. That's why he had him get his throat slit. He was like, it's like,
right. What do you say to Roman? Name your budget. Name your picture. Final cut. I already have.
I when he was like, when he had him in, he was like, City. He's like, this is the guy that did the stuff to your mother. Like, he fucked her 3 ways to Sunday or something. Like,
oh yeah, no, I love the dialogue with Stone.
Yeah,
with Stone in the camper, because he's like, hey, I'm just making sure there ain't no killer in here ripping off you like he did your little sister. And when you go back and rewatch Scream 3, that scene is the dead giveaway that it is Sidney's brother. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It is, because when you hear Ghostface as Dewey's voice, he's like, what did you say? I can't believe you said that, because Stone was talking about his sister.
Yeah.
So now you got to take it into the context that Stone's talking about Ghostface's sister, Sidney.
Yeah.
So that's why he said, what did you say? I can't believe you say that. That makes me angry. Yeah. I love the way he says angry in that scene. Love it. Like,
man. He killed it in that one.
That scene is a dead giveaway that it is the sibling, and stuff like that. But yeah, man, like, they did some good things in Scream 3 that I don't think a lot of people appreciate, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, they really did. Like, I like the fact that they got a little bit goofier, because the previous two they had their funny moments, but they were serious.
Yeah.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Y'all mean to tell me y'all don't enjoy that scene with Roman when he is ranting in the office to Milton, talking about Variety called me a pariah. I don't even know what a pariah is.
Yeah.
Why is this happening to me? What am I doing wrong? Like, my boy, what do you say? Not only did they kill my film, but they killed my cast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, no, Roman was funny. Roman was like, I forgot when he was in the office with Milton, like and there were just like he's had so many great lines.
Yes,
but Roman was
man. Like,
hilarious.
he had so many great lines. But to me, the dark horse character of the entire film,
Yeah,
Detective Wallace.
bro.
That's my boy, man. Oh,
Bro,
yo, he may have not had a crazy big role,
yeah,
but every piece of his dialogue was freaking great.
it's like he didn't say much, but when he talked, it was good.
Right.
It was just. It makes me wonder. I wonder if most of this stuff was like improvised, like off the cuff stuff, because it does seem like it was just like I don't know if they would write that like all those jokes and stuff for him. I feel like it was like off the cuff.
I honestly think that was him. I think it's him off the cuff.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because I seen that same actor a couple of years ago playing in an episode of Law and Order SVU. Yes, that's my joint. I watched the Law and Orders.
Bro,
or whatever.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? Gotta have love for my girl Benson.
Yes, sir.
But he played a lawyer who was going up against Benson's DA. And he made a comment because Barbara, is Hispanic. And he was basically warning Barbara about the politics of him being Hispanic and this and that in the situation, in the case they were in. And he said, hey, listen, I'm just trying to look out for you. I don't want you to be the only poppy being hung out to dry or something like that. And when he said that, I said, yup, that let me know that Scream 3 was him.
Yeah.
He likes those type of one-liners.
Yeah,
stuff like that. And he's great at it.
His delivery is on point.
On point. One boy said, we don't have any reason to believe that the movie had anything with Cotton's death, do we? He was making a movie called Stabbed. He was stabbed.
Bro, when I first heard that line, I died, bro.
Died. Did my boy say, Kincaid's like, oh yeah, Detective Wallace, Miss Weathers is actually working with me now. My boy gave him that look like, oh, word? He was like, well, in that case, I'll go dust for fingerprints with Jane Polly. Dude, but the best one, and you know it, the best one is Roman. When he says, someone's trying to kill my movie. Someone wants to kill my movie. All right. We'll talk about your movie down at the station. This is the scene where you come with us.
This is the scene where you come. Bro. You gotta appreciate that, man, bro. You have to.
If there's one thing consistently that this franchise has done is give us characters that we enjoy. Even if they don't live or even if they survive, but they're not main characters, we have characters that we can enjoy. Like, it's crazy. Like, they do such a good job at that. And even with Scream 5 and Scream 6, they give you characters that, even if you don't love them like the previous iterations of the franchise, like a Jennifer Jolie, something like that, they still give us good characters.
Yeah, look at Joel. People love Joel. I love Joel. I love Joel. Like, dude. If he comes back at 7, I'm gonna go nuts. I'm a pop.
Now, my shit in Scream 2, backtrack to Scream 2 real quick, is what Joel said. He was like, I read your book. And woo! He said, I heard about your cameraman. The guy was gutted. Now me, I'm like the complete opposite. My whole main fact is like, get the fuck away from here. Like, real shit. Joe was the smartest one.
Joe was funny, bro. Joe was hilarious, bro. Talk about one-liners, bro. Joel, bro. Yes, I got that on film.
Yes, I got that on film. Fucking Dwayne Martin, man. Dwayne Martin. He's great. I would love to see him back in the Scream.
Yeah.
That is true, Blucka. Jennifer was named after Jennifer Aniston. Angelina was after Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was around the time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Courtney Cox and Jennifer Aniston were kind of butting heads, because of Friends and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some rumors about that back in the day, which is why you get the line in Scream 2 from Gail when she said, "It was just my head. It was Jennifer Aniston's body."
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
throwing shots.
Throwing shot. Okay. Okay.
I'm about to say another thing that I think is a low about Scream 3
Yeah.
is the fact that the studio got involved so heavily.
Yeah.
I get it because of the circumstances, what happened with what.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like no matter what Wes would have tried to do with Scream 3,
Mhm.
the Weinsteins, one way or another, unless they had it their way, wasn't going to be happy.
Yeah.
Just like they didn't want two killers revealed this time. They didn't agree with Angelina being a killer, which I never understood why that was a problem, especially when we just got Mrs. Loomis as a killer.
Yeah.
I never understood why that was an issue, but I think the biggest lows for Scream 3 is that we didn't get the movie we were supposed to get. And what movie we were supposed to get.
Yeah, man. Every time I see 3, I think of the What If, man.
Right.
Every time. I always think of that. I'm like, oh, man. But hey.
Absolutely. But all we can do is hope for that Radio Silence is Scream 3.
Yeah, we're going with this one.
That's all we can hope for, is that
Hopefully, man.
I will say this. I think they are following a certain formula.
Yeah.
That Wes Craven was going to follow after Scream 4 that he didn't get to follow with Jill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is why, and it's funny because I'm going to break it down in a video. Why the Stay Alive lyrics, the couple of the lyrics that I've actually listened to and read, why it supports my theory that I've been saying since Scream 5, that Samantha is a mastermind killer. She's basically finishing the job that her dad started in terms of making the movie and surviving through the sequels as a killer, which is something that Wes Craven was going to do with Jill in Scream 5 before he passed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think that's the direction they're going, and that also includes Stu Macher. You know what I mean? Again, why I bring this up is because we still got 5 years. 5 years where we don't know what Samantha did, where she went.
Yeah.
We can think that she was living Modesto the whole time, but I don't think she was.
No. So
and there's certain clues in Scream 6 that even support that theory. There's just certain little clues, man, that I caught. It ain't as heavy as it was in Scream 5, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You pay close attention to certain things, you definitely will catch it, man.
That's true.
Stuff like that. But man, altogether about Scream 3, I think it's something that Val said earlier. If I can recatch, I think it's too far up at this point. But Val said it perfectly earlier. Scream 3's rewatchability is it's up there.
Yeah, bro.
I can rewatch it anytime and not be mad about it.
Not
I
at
like
all,
this film, man.
I love it.
I don't understand what is the big hate about it.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But then again, I don't hate any Scream film, so I don't know.
I mean, real quick, Bluckett says, wasn't Stay Alive about Demi Lovato trying to take her own life a couple years ago when Fez divorced her? I mean, for her, yeah, you can make that, case that, obviously that's what she's talking about. I'm talking about in the context of the Scream film. In those lyrics, you can definitely point out some stuff that pertains to our characters. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely some stuff. But yeah, you're probably not wrong about that, Blucka. I'm pretty sure, that for her, for Demi, that she probably those lyrics were about that.
Yeah.
You know
I mean,
so,
there's a reason why they chose this song.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But I definitely do think in the lyrics that you can make a case that they're talking about some of our characters.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Sean Arthur says, white people are dead. We're getting the fuck out of here. BET reporters scary movie. Also Joe Street. Yes.
Bro.
Yo.
Man, listen.
That's real. That's crazy. Listen, Olivia, I mean, and we can talk about this more tomorrow on the Omnibus for 4 through 6. But it's like Craven said earlier, at this stage in the game, anything is possible.
Yeah.
When you bring in these survivors back in the way that you do, when they easily, a couple of them at the least should be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby should be dead. Chad should be dead. Tara, you can even make that argument, should be dead. But yet, they all, survived these horrific attacks to keep making it to the sequel. So why can't it be the same for killers that we think may be dead that might actually not be?
Yeah, that's true.
No, I like it. You know what I mean? I'm on board. Listen, I'm all on board for the Ghostface killers that we thought were dead that are actually alive, forming together as a cult. I am all for it.
Insane, bro. Could you imagine? Oh,
that's
just the unmatched. Like, could you imagine the ending scene is they're in this spot where there's different entrances, and there's a ghost face in each one, and they're just unmasking Jill, Stu, and then oh my god, not fast like that, but with dialogue in between. Oh my, bro.
Yeah. That's why I said to Craven before before he headed out. I said, could you imagine if Charlie Walker is alive and he's working with Stu?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine how brutal that movie is going to be?
Bro, Charlie was brutal, bro. Man, they're just lucky Mickey's not alive. That I'll tell you that much. Because Mickey was another brutal one. Mickey was, man.
Yeah, but he also didn't get shot in the, but what's another interesting thing about him?
Yeah.
He didn't get shot in the head. He did get lit up by bullets. But he didn't get shot in the head.
Yeah.
And we did not see his mask being used in Scream 6.
It
didn't show up at a crime scene.
But man, he got lit up though.
He did get lit up. He did.
But he didn't get shot in the head. And if you don't get shot in the head,
right,
you can come back.
Right. And I always say this when it comes to Mickey's character. I mean, I know maybe a little bit too reality based, but hey, if Curtis 50 Cent Jackson can get shot 9 times and live to talk about it and rap about it,
yeah, you're right.
Why can't Mickey get shot the same amount of times and live to kill and talk about it some more?
You're right. You're right. You're right.
I put it this way: it all depends on how those doctors bring you back, if they can bring you back.
Yeah, wasn't there a thing with that a script that they were gonna have where the killers were victims they thought were dead?
Yep.
Did you hear about that one? Yeah, right. There was something like that, right?
The whole point was the killers who were working with Stu in Scream 3 and what was supposed to be the original iteration for Scream 3.
Yeah.
The killers were all basically a part of this, a part of the group that, Sydney, I guess, met or whatever, this and this and that.
Uh-huh.
And they all die. They're all supposed to die one by one or whatever, or in the same area.
Yeah.
but then they all stand up and like after being thought to be dead, they all stand up and they reveal themselves as Stu's cult.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, hey, there's some there.
Oh yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting there to that point.
Oh, man, I get you, my man. Whenever
we'll go till 2:30. Does that sound cool with you?
Yeah, bro. As long as you going, I'm going, my man.
Yeah, no doubt, buddy. Yeah, so I'd say we'll give you guys like another 10 minutes before we head out for the night. Dino, I'm glad you was able to come on for a little bit, buddy. The same thing could be. I know you said you work late tomorrow, but if you would like to do the same thing, we can definitely do that, bro.
Awesome, yeah. I will definitely try to make it over here again at the same time, man.
Right.
Definitely.
Now, let me ask you something real quick, buddy. What are your usual days off?
So the thing is, I would normally be off tomorrow.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, there's like this lady's going on vacation, so I gotta fill in and all this stuff. So this week's a really busy week for me. Like, so, but normally I would be off Wednesday.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, sometimes too.
Okay.
So, yeah. So yeah, like normally those are my off days.
Heard that, buddy. Yeah, because we're definitely gonna have to get you on here for a full live stream.
Hell yeah, bro! I would love it. I would love it.
Yeah, man. You know, I rocks with you, Dino, man. We have good conversations.
Same here, my man.
Yeah,
same here, bro. Thank you. Thank
serious. You. Absolutely. The Spicy General has to call tonight. Hey, Val, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna be in the same spot as you are in about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
so,
I got it.
Val, I greatly appreciate you for being a great modulator that you are. Yes, I said modulator because that's what my mods are going to be called here on this channel is the modulators. So I greatly appreciate you hanging out here and stuff like that, keeping an eye on the chat, making sure no bots and no negativity is in here. You definitely get some rest. And hey, I got the Instagram group page up now, so now you guys will be notified when I have live streams put together and all that stuff. And hey, Val, definitely got to get you back here on the channel as well. So again, have a great night, Val. Get some rest. I will chat with you later.
Good night, Val.
Michael Joe says Jill is alive.
I'm not against it.
I'm not against it neither. I mean, like I said, at this point, anything's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I will say this though, and I'm gonna probably catch some heat for this. Two things I want to say. One, I personally wouldn't care if Jill came back, and I mean, like in terms of like it wouldn't do nothing for me.
Yeah.
And the only reason why is because, in my opinion, her legacy is cemented. Mm-hmm. She's already considered one of the best ghost faces ever.
Yeah.
It's not like Stu and Charlie to where they don't get no respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And two, and some will disagree with this, Charlie was a way better killer than Jill anyway. Jill was just a better mastermind. That's all. Yeah. You know what I mean? She was the brains. Charlie was the brawn. And I'm sorry, when it comes to my Ghostface killers, I rather go with the guy or the person who's going to actually put in the work. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Charlie, he put in work. Like, bro, like it's why it's so funny because me and Eric were having, and Bob were having this conversation on the Scream 6 recap live stream. And even Eric said it perfectly. Anything that this killer in Scream 6 did, Charlie did it 2 times better.
Yeah.
It's just like when you see Jason, when you see his insides kind of coming out. Okay, that's cool. Olivia's insides were out on the bed. That shows you the difference in brutality.
Yeah, man.
So
it's true.
You know what I mean? Like it just, it's nothing against Jill. I still got love for Jill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still like Jill. Mm-hmm. It's just, now that I'm, seeing things from a different perspective than I was initially, I gotta give more credit to Charlie. He made it happen, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. He painted the walls red. Let's go. That's right. Yeah.
Definitely, bro.
That's right, man. He's freaking brutal, man.
Man, he slaughtered that girl, bro.
Yes. Yes, Michael Joe. Charlie was a way better killer than Jill. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right, Sean Arthur. Yep, Modulators. Awesome name. Yeah, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I was sitting here thinking, you know what I mean? And this is what happens, you know, when you become a content creator, is you want to find different ways to be creative yourself. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, what would be a cool name for the mods? You know what I mean? Stuff. And then I'm watching Scream 6, you know what I mean? And you hear, you know, Jason, turn the fucking voice modulator off. And I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. Modulators. Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it. You know what I mean? I heard that. I'm just like, wow, like, why didn't I think of that sooner? You know what I mean? Like, it's great stuff, though, man. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see what more news is going to come out on Scream 7 if we're going to get it. I know there's some rumors out there that, you know, maybe Radio Silence won't return. I don't see them walking away from the bag. I don't. Like, I really don't.
You're right. Yeah, I don't see it either.
But yeah. So, guys, we're going to wrap it up here in the next 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the omnibus of each of the first 3 films. Obviously discussing the things, you know, that we really felt made these movies really good, as well as some things that, you know, may have not made these movies some really good. But I'd like to think that for the majority of the live stream, when it comes to the first 3 films, you can really take away from this live stream, especially that the first 3 films, especially the third film, is even better than what you may have appreciated it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these movies are all consistently great in their own ways. I get it. I get Scream 3 may be a little bit too hokey, maybe a little bit too pokey and goofy for you.
Yeah.
But we always talk about directors, whether it's the same director or a different director. We always talk about directors getting different. They need to get different. So what did Wes Craven do with Scream 3 that was different from the previous 2? He made it more goofy. He made it more tacky, campy.
Yeah.
Which went against the grain of what a Scream movie is.
Yeah.
And even though you may not like it, you got to respect it because in that moment, he was trying to get different. And in my opinion, I think he did a great job, as he always did.
Yeah. Agree with you. 100%.
You know what I mean? Man, I'll tell you this much, Dino, before we head out. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm going to see John Carpenter next month in Texas.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be in Texas. I'm actually meeting up with Destin.
Nice. Okay.
I'm not going to lie, though. It would really have made the trip even better, in my opinion, if Wes was still alive.
Oof. Yes, man. Yeah.
Man, like honestly, I put it this way: as I've gotten older and more understanding of these films and stuff like that, especially now I'm a content creator, like, man, as much as I love Carpenter, you can make that argument that Wes Craven is the greatest horror movie maker of all time. You can.
Yeah.
You can make that argument. You really can.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just wish he was still there, man. You know what I mean? I still wish he was still here because then I would be possibly able to get both of them. Like, oh man.
Yeah, bro. That would have been nuts. Carpenter and Craven at the same. Come on.
We gotta appreciate them while they last, guys.
Yeah.
Gotta appreciate them while they last. Okay, I'm gonna read off some more of you guys' comments real quick before we head out for the night. Again, guys, I greatly appreciate you all hanging out. You know what I mean? Throughout these almost 4 hours, I've even went an hour longer than what I was going to, which is great. Hey, I'm not against it. I told you this was going to happen, Dino.
Yeah,
I told you. I know myself too well. I may say 3 hours, but most likely you guys are gonna get 4. Like,
yeah.
most
Hey,
likely.
Hey, listen, I love your live streams, bro. When you go like an extra hour or whatever, I'm like, yes.
I appreciate that, buddy.
Even if I'm on it or I'm not on it, bro. I'm like, I'm watching. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go.
But you know what I appreciate though about you though, Dino?
Mm-hmm.
Especially like if I'm not doing a live stream here or if I'm on somebody else's channel and we're
Yeah.
going late or whatever, you can tell when I'm ready to pack it in.
Yeah.
You can see it on my face. I'm
Yeah,
ready
no, it's true. It's yeah.
I'm ready to grab that pillow and them covers and out.
I'm not gonna lie, like I see it in your face, I'm like, oh man, he's gonna end it soon.
Fading.
I know.
Yep,
Yeah, I'm
see
like,
it.
but
You
whatever. Hey, you gotta
I'm
get your rest too, my man.
Yep, you can see I'm fighting it too. Like I'm
Yeah.
fighting it, and you can see it because I remember the one Craven stream. It was like 4 in the morning or whatever, something like that, and we're talking or whatever and stuff like that. And I just and it was funny because Craven pulled it up on the chat, and you was like, "Yo, my man Marcus, get to bed, bro. You faded." I'm like, yeah, Dino. I didn't think anybody noticed that.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
stuff,
bro. I can see it, bro. I'm like, oh my man, like get some rest, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I will say I do appreciate a lot more now than I did, starting off with this, because I think, obviously when you're starting off as a content creator and all that stuff, you're hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
I got you.
So hungry. You're so hungry to succeed that, and you say fuck sleep. You know what I mean?
I got you. I got you. That's what people say. They're like, I'll sleep when I'm dead, bro. Yeah. Like, I gotta get it now.
But one thing that I've learned, especially over the last few months, is that you got to get that rest. You got to
It's true. It's true.
You got to recalibrate, because if you don't recalibrate, you're gonna be, and then you're not gonna want to do nothing.
Yeah, you get burnt out, man. You get burnt out, and then hey, heaven forbid, you don't even want to do it anymore because you're so burnt out.
That's so true.
Yeah, that man. It's true. The rest is definitely important. Yeah, but I mean, me as someone that watches your videos, I enjoy anytime you make something, bro. I'm like, there you go, video, a live stream, anything, bro.
That, man.
Bro, I love everything you make, bro. I'm always you could. I'm not lying. Every time you drop a live stream or a video, who's one of the first people to comment?
It's you. That is true.
Bro, every single broke. I'm telling you, when I see that notification, I'm clicking instantly. You, Craven, anybody else, bro, instantly.
Yo, I appreciate that, man. That honestly, that truly means a lot, man. Honestly, it's just like I was saying earlier, you know what I mean? Hearing that, you know what I mean, from you, and seeing everybody here show up in the chats and all that stuff, like it lets me know my hard work is paying off, man. And I am so humbled and greatly appreciated for you all, man. Honestly.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. Listen, bro, I watch a lot of content creators, and I can tell you, like, I know, like, I never say anything negative about anybody or anything.
Right.
I know when someone's good and when someone's like, okay, you can use a little work.
Right.
Like, you're good, bro. Like, you need to keep going because you're good. I can see your moving up, because like when I'm excited to watch a video, because like trust me, it takes a lot to hook me in. When I'm excited to watch a video, that means you're putting out some good stuff.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate that again, man, because I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes, you know what I mean, your boy be in here 4, 5, 6 hours working on just the same thing, because I'm trying to hone it and make sure that I'm making my point and all that stuff, and I'm making sure the clue is on point and all that stuff. Like,
I get
you. It is hard work, but it's all worth it. So again, Dino, man, I greatly appreciate that, brother.
Of course,
like,
bro. From the heart, bro. All the truth, bro. I'm not here to BS you, bro.
Yo, I appreciate that, man. Honestly, like shit. You know what I mean? After this shit, now you gonna make me get my cup of motherfucking coffee and finish this fucking video.
Bro, get some rest, man. Get some rest. I know you said you was gonna listen to the Scream soundtrack or whatever, but bro,
I actually am. No, because what I want to do actually is if anything, even if I don't finish the audio tonight, I am gonna stay up a little bit and piece together my next video. So by the time I get to it tomorrow, I can just shoot to the audio, put the music in, and then we done. You know what I mean, and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yo, you know what else I love? I'm like, if I could just, bro, your intro, when you're like, I shot him six times. YouTube horror movie channel, like you just like kind of like YouTube horror movie channel, bro. I don't know what it is, but I love that. Whatever you say, I repeat it. I'm like, I shot him 6 times. YouTube horror movie channel.
It's so funny because sometimes I'll have to laugh at myself because I'll go into it and then it's just like YouTube horror movie channel. Like
bro,
it's just regular.
I love it. I love it, bro. It's so good.
I love that you love it because I'm not gonna lie. There's been a couple people that has came across this my videos and stuff, and they're like, hey, we like the content, but we don't like your intro or whatever and stuff. And I told them, like, listen, I respect your opinion.
Yeah.
No disrespect. I'm not changing it.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm not. You know what I mean?
I mean, negativity is everywhere, bro. And listen, everyone's not gonna like you.
They were really being negative. They were just saying, "Hey, I'll put it this way: they feel like the audio could be better. I think they feel like I should imply the real Loomis voice, the soundbite and stuff. Okay. And it's like I want it to be as authentic as I can get it to.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like that's that's what I like to do. I love doing impersonations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I don't know.
I appreciate it, buddy.
I don't know. I don't know what's the problem because I love it, bro. I love it.
I get it. It's not it may not be for everybody, but there's one thing that I will stay true to. I shot him 6 times, that sting.
Yeah, man.
It's here to stay.
Of course.
But all right, everybody in the chat, again, I greatly appreciate you all for hanging out. We are going on basically 4 hours. It's 3 minutes, 3 minutes. 3 hours and 56 minutes. That's how you know I'm getting there. Whatever. You guys are awesome. This was an amazing, conversation. I'm so glad that I got to have Steven on for a couple hours, and then I'm so glad I got to have you on, Dino, for the last hour. You came in right on time, my man. Right on time.
Yeah, man. I was speeding home, bro.
So, guys, again, this was great. This was fun. Again, thank you for all of you who are still here in this chat, all 7 of you and stuff. To y'all, that may not sound like a lot. To me, that's damn near a lifetime because
that's awesome, bro.
It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. If you are from the Pacific time zone, I would like to think that was like an hour different. Central time zone, that's an hour different. So in your area, it's what, 1:30 something. One way or another, you guys are up late as hell listening to me here on YouTube on possibly a work night. Like, words can't express how much you guys mean to me for that. You know what I mean? Just being here to support this channel, support the live stream, having a good time, having a great conversation. Like, guys, I'll say it. I'll always say it, and I'm going to say it again. This is what keeps me going. This is what makes me want to go make another cup of fucking coffee, put on some Scream 96 score, and go finish this fucking video because of y'all. Like, you know what I mean? But this is the end of the stream. Be sure to tune in for tomorrow's stream, part 2 of Scream Franchise Omnibus, where we are going to be covering films 4 through 6. So, guys, it's already posted. It's already the live stream is already there on the channel. Go get notified so you guys can be ready. Same time, it will be starting at 10 p.m. tomorrow night or whatever. I am going to go live. Even if we can't get some guests, at around that time, I'll even just kind of stall on the stream until we can get some guests in and all that stuff. But one way or another, 10 p.m. tomorrow night, Scream Franchise Omnibus Part 2, films 4 through 6. I hope you all can make it, and I will see you there. Guys, once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times, YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. Everybody have a blessed night. Get some rest. I will catch you tomorrow.